1:15. A check of traffic at this hour for westbound 70 drivers at 141 or Earth City Expressway. Watch out there. The right lane is closed, and that's due to that ongoing road work that's happening. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, Dave Murray has our forecast.
Pretty nice afternoon across St. Louis. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures about where we should be. Hope you had a great Easter. 62 for the high going through our afternoon. Tonight, clouds dominate. Some sprinkles, even a couple of wet snowflakes late tonight. It's no real big deal. 35, though, for the overnight low. Tuesday, more clouds than sunshine, with the emphasis on the clouds. It's chilly, 54 degrees, cloudy skies on Tuesday night, 41. Wednesday, partly sunny, and a jump up again. We're going to 73 Wednesday afternoon. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
62 right now in St. Peter's, 60 in Florissant, and downtown at the Arch Ward at 60 degrees. I'm Maria Aquino, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DJS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. Gorgeous day out there. My voice sounds good like a radio guy.
What do you know?
Kind of weird.
It's like you belong here.
I know you guys never notice a difference. I totally notice a difference.
Do you?
Yeah. Because typically my voice sounds like this in my head.
In your head. It doesn't sound like that in real life.
And then every now and then it sounds like this. I'm like, hey,
Hey there.
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing?
Big show today. We have a lot to get to. We're not going to start with the Trump stuff and the war stuff because Hancock and Kelly are in the building and they're going to join us at 1:30. That seems like a great time to talk about all that stuff. Certainly don't want to do it twice. The Artemis 2, piloted by a Glover, is moments away. They may have already done it, in fact. Breaking the record for the farthest a human has ever been from the Earth, about 250,000 miles. My understanding is early evening tonight is when they slingshot around the moon.
Yep.
And they're going to have live video. However, I just read an article. I'm very disappointed. Temper your expectations. And the flat earthers are going to love this because they don't have high-def cameras to do that. I don't know why they don't. I don't understand. But they said that the images that we get tonight of the far side of the moon will be very washed out. So,
do they have them like up there where they're getting the clearer ones and then we'll see them later?
I think so.
Because, I mean, I saw the pictures they took outside the portal looking back at Earth, and those are pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can't figure something out.
Uh-oh.
And it's not one of those like, I could just Google it, but it's going to be great for the show. I've Googled it, and I still can't figure it out. The Artemis was like halfway to the moon, like yesterday, still 60, 70,000 miles or more from the moon. And they were getting images of the far side of the moon. And I don't understand it. They said because of the angles in space, which I don't know. I don't understand space angles. And the cameras, the cameras are on your vehicle, which is 60,000 miles away in space from the front side of the moon, but they're sending all these images of the dark side.
So the only thing I can picture is like the moon is straight in front and you're actually coming around. So you're far away and maybe it's only half the distance.
So they're not like straight at it.
So you're kind of, right. You're going wide and maybe you're peeking around the corner a little bit.
Possible.
It's the only way I can picture it.
Okay.
Well, I know all about space angles, but I'm not going to be divulging.
Damn it, Rach.
Get our hopes up. She's like this all the time in the office.
You get our hopes up, and now we got to just guess.
I don't feel like sharing. You need to do your own research.
Janelle says they just did it and asked that one of the unnamed craters be named after Reed Weissman's recently deceased wife, Carol. They all proceeded to cry, which led me to ugly cry. You're all cut up. Okay, thanks, Janelle.
That's nice.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Oh,
Well, I've had my question answered.
and that's the show.
Yeah, I can go home.
We'll
Hey,
talk to you
listen,
on Tuesday.
I thought that would take 4 hours.
Did we really answer it, or did we just kind of guess?
I think
We
that's
made some good guesses.
That's
I
the
think.
best explanation.
Yeah.
I'm picturing them going straight at it, but
I
you're
get
right.
you.
They're going around it, so taking a big sweep, possibly.
And it's hard to conceive because like when we are gonna go around something, you picture like, just going around a circle. But
Yeah.
like there's the distances out there are just so crazy. I mean, the fact that they're going to be 250,000 miles away is insane, and that you can travel that far
Yeah.
in like 6 days.
Yeah.
Like how fast are you going?
Yeah.
Pretty damn fast. Of course,
Yeah,
you got
this-
no resistance up there, and you can't really feel the speed because you're going that speed. So
I had a great Easter. Hope you guys had a really good one. Whole family's out there except for Nick. He was over in Illinois with mom and Nana. Fee was home, which was great. And Maureen's niece, Ashley, has 2 3-year-old twin girls.
so you had extra fun.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was made for this.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
had bubble guns, and they were outside. And they
didn't call me.
were playing around with them, and they're like shooting people, and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. And they shot me, and I'm like, oh my God, and I fell down dead.
So now you're the favorite. Everything. Yeah.
I could see in their eyes. They're both like, what the F just happened?
This is great. This guy's gonna play
Yeah,
along.
This guy's pretty cool. We're gonna let him into the inner circle.
Yeah, you're in the circle of trust.
So that was fun. And the next thing I'm about to say, I say for all the parents out there, because I think we all share a basic common experience, and then you have all your differences in your kids and, raising them and stuff. But raising teenage girls is not for wussies. Right? Like I've had a pretty easy time of it. Maureen's like Jupiter. She's taken all the asteroids.
Oh my
right?
God. Yeah.
So thank God for that.
So many cases it's mom that takes the heat. And then obviously the opposite sometimes for the guys where the dad and sons clash.
But then yesterday, we were going to go hide the eggs, and Phoebe and I went out there and we took our time. It's like 45 minutes. And it was one of the best 45 minutes I've had in 10 years. Because we just don't get that much time alone anymore, she's always KU and then back. I'm going to see my friends.
And when they're home, they're sleeping.
Exactly. Yeah. Like everyone out there who's ever had a teenage, young adult kid, boy or girl, gets it. But I was so thankful because it was so wonderful. No, nothing big. We didn't have any big talks, which was what was great about it, is we just talked like human adults. And I swear a switch flipped on her 21st birthday because she's just so much like, you know what I mean? She's like, just gets it now. So great Easter. How about you guys?
That's wonderful. It was nice. I get to spend some time with my nieces. A lot of playing as well.
Yeah.
It's just so fun.
So much fun.
I like to get down there and play, and we were playing. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Netflix show My Melody and Karomi, but it's like a Hello Kitty offshoot thing, and they love it. So we were playing that, and I'm like getting real into it with them. It's just a fun excuse to do that kind of stuff, and then of course I get to spend time with them, which is amazing. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Andrew, were you in Minneapolis?
I was in Minneapolis in the morning, and then I was in the car most of Easter.
And how long is the drive supposed to be, and how long was your drive up there?
Ooh, it's supposed to be like 8 hours, 8.5 hours, and it took close to like 12.
Oh, dang.
I got caught in some flooding in Iowa, like big storms, tornadoes, all that. Partially my fault. I stopped for lunch in Iowa, and I was looking at the map, and I'm looking at everything, and I'm seeing winter storm up in Minnesota. I'm seeing, tornadoes and stuff in Iowa. And I'm thinking, this is probably fine. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. We're not going to get caught in any of the stuff that's directly in our path or anything. I should have just said, like, all right, wheels up. We got to just split and skip lunch and, get McDonald's or whatever on the way. It was really bad. The last like half of the last like 5-6 hours of the drive up there was pretty terrible.
And you went there for what?
I went there for a party to celebrate the launch of a board game thing that was in a cave was in like a speakeasy in a bootlegger cave. It was really cool.
This couldn't sound like you're making it all up
In
more.
a cave.
Super fun.
You went to
it was a masquerade
a masquerade comic rollout in a cave in Minneapolis.
board game, not comic.
Board game?
Masquerade.
What's the name of the game?
Arkham Horror. I could not wear the mask though because they provided us masks if you didn't bring your own, and we didn't bring our own. Because I got these big squeezable, pinchable cheekbones.
What?
I got these big squeezable, pinchable cheekbones. So I put this cheap plastic mask on that they offered me, and every time I would like smile or talk or whatever, it'd go like woo, shoot through the freaking roof because of my big old squeezable, pinchable cheekbones.
I don't think it's your cheek.
I don't think the
dreaming.
bones are squeezable, buddy. They're made of bone.
Boop, boop, boop. Look at
No, that's not a bone.
That's not the bone. That's your skin.
That's your cheek.
Yeah.
Your cheekbone is like here.
I've never
Yeah, you're like
realized.
right here, like,
I've never realized how insanely proud you are of your cheeks.
He thinks he's like a skincare expert. He's going to be doing a YouTube channel
Get ready
giving
with me.
skincare advice before you know it.
They're just pinchable and squeezable is all.
Watch me get ready.
Is the thing. Yeah, get ready with me and my adorable cheekbones. Now every time I put this on and I liked the way it looked, but it was like a full kind of top of the face. So every time I would like move my head, it would just shoot straight up through the roof, and that didn't work too well.
Gotcha.
But before that, we went to the Mall of America, which is a pretty neat place.
Yeah, you ever been?
Who,
Dave?
me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy big.
It's unbelievable. We were there for like 3 hours, and all we saw was the theme park and like half of the first floor.
Yeah.
And there are 4 freaking stories to this place.
Yeah, they got a cool VR. I don't know if they still had it, but they have a cool VR experience there too. They have a Star Wars one. It's awesome.
So
That's cool.
do they have like a bunch of stores you would expect to see at the mall, or is it a
Yes.
bunch of like unique stuff?
It's both.
Both. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
I would
nice,
say so.
nice. Yeah, because sometimes you'll go to a mall and you're like all excited, but then all the stores are just a little bit off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I'm glad to see that the Mall of America is still thriving.
It was a great
definitely
mall.
bit. Oh yeah, that
It
place
was
is
packed. Oh my gosh.
nonstop
That's
tourists. Yep.
And there were a bunch of roller coasters in the middle of it, which I did not see coming.
And they have. I don't know if they still do, but they used to have one of our favorite barbecue places too.
Oh, what was that called?
Forget
Was it SpongeBob
Weber?
Barbecue?
Tony Roma's, but I don't think they have it anymore. I think those closed.
You probably couldn't get in there because your cheeks are too squeezable.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
you
Well,
can't
that was
have
what
that.
what Garfield said to me when I met Garfield.
Yeah, how excited were you to meet Garf?
Oh, I was very excited. So that turned out to be just a total coincidence. He was doing like a 3-hour meet and greet, like while I was walking
To
through.
be a total guy in a
Andrew's-
costume.
Andrew's just shoving kids out of the way.
There was like no one wanted to meet Garfield. There was like 3 kids in front of us.
That's because Garf's for older people.
Maybe so.
What did you say to Garfield, Andrew?
I said, "What's up, man?"
Did he respond?
He's just like nod his head.
He didn't say anything.
Did he make a noise like?
He didn't say anything. He was completely silent. So he was right about to go on break. And so like I felt bad because after they took me and my wife, that she was like, "Okay, Garfield's going on break. Everybody turn around and leave."
Andrew's like, can I
And there
put
were
on
like
the
kids
costume?
behind me.
What if
And
they
I was
asked
like, "Oh,
you-
whoops."
If they asked you to put on the costume and give that guy a break, would you have done that?
I was too tall. Did you see the guy? The costume was real tiny.
That's true. He's a little person. Probably it was. Yeah.
I don't think it was a
Yeah.
little person.
No,
Kevin.
I didn't. That's not what I said. I said it was probably little.
Exactly
because
what
it's-
you said.
No, it was not what I said. We can play the tape. I didn't say it. but
What'd you
it's okay.
say?
He
I said it's probably
he
like-
said it's a little person.
No, I said it's probably like a little, little guy, like character.
Yeah.
Right.
One of those little guys.
I need to see if I have any more trazodone in my
I mean,
pocket.
I'll pull the tape.
This
You
is
go ahead. I didn't say what you thought I said.
This is crazy.
It was a funny moment. We can just move on.
It's
we
fine.
can just move on.
Let's get Hancock and Kelly in here while I do my live. Tell you guys about BioBalance Health. Dr. Maupin and Dr. Sullivan just had my pellets last week, and it's only been a week. It usually takes 2, but I'm already feeling different. Like you can feel it. And I had kind of forgotten that because my laziness has caused me to be 6 months late on my pellets, and I have not been feeling great. And I knew what it was, and I would, fashion my lives that way, like, oh, Dave's so stupid. But Dave's real life was, not great without the pellets, and now I got him back, feeling much better. All you have to do is take a blood test, which we will set up for you. Dr. Maupin or Dr. Sullivan will read them for you. And if it's something other than your testosterone, thyroid, or something like that, we can help you, or you can go see your GP. Right next door is BioBalance Skin with Botox and chemical peels and microneedling and such. Beautiful med spa. Everyone there is super, super cool. So if you want to feel better and look better, go to biobalancehealth.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
It's here. That's right. The final college basketball game of the season is tonight, and FanDuel is giving all customers a profit boost. Build a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. Try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, whatever you decide to do with FanDuel, you are going to get paid instantly when you win. And you better take advantage now, because after tonight, college basketball is done for the season. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri to claim your first profit boost and keep the action going from now till the big championship. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Are you trying to lose weight and nothing is working? Do you keep hearing about GLP-1s, but you don't know where to start? STO weight loss injections can get you started on a real and impactful weight loss journey. For details and to schedule an appointment, head to STOweightlossinjections.com and get started for just $199.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Remember, my band gig is coming up on April 17th. That's a Friday at Delmar Hall. Michael Kelly's going to be there, bringing a bunch of Michael Kelly people.
I am.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You can get tickets by going to delmarhall.com. They're $30-ish, something like that. The doors are at 7. My band goes up at 8, does the Beatles, a Doobie Brothers tribute band after that, and a Clapton tribute band after that. All really good players.
Wow, that
a lot
sounds
of
like
guys from my band. Oh, it's gonna be great. Everyone except me is a really good player. So at 1:30, I want to talk about politics.
All right.
But I have a topic, and this probably won't take this whole segment, but I just maybe no one else is interested in it, but I was just like, wow. Last Friday, I think it was. You guys will remember this. Wheels, I said, I'm not as smart as I present, because I was looking at the weather in Detroit to see if we're going to get the game in. And I'm looking at a map, and I was shocked at where Detroit was. Like, if you would have said, go to Detroit, I would have headed north and driven until I hit Canada and said, where's Detroit? I didn't realize it was west of Chicago. East of Chicago. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. You know, it's nice to be humbled. And I was talking to our good friend Trish over the weekend, Trish Gazelle, and I told her that story. And in very typical Trish fashion, she said, "You can name any major city in America, and I have no idea where it is. Like, I have no clue geographically where that is. I wouldn't have known if Detroit was north, east, west, south. I don't know." And I said, that's really surprising because even though the story is I was wrong about it, I feel like that's kind of common knowledge. And she said, "Dave, I don't think common knowledge is what you think it is." And I thought that was an interesting point. Like, she was basically saying, I think people in America are dumber than you think they are.
Well, there's probably some truth in that.
I can do the major cities that aren't up in the Northeast. So, like, if you said, where's Tulsa? I could generally get in the right area, San Antonio.
But you would know
Phoenix.
where it is directionally from where you are.
Yeah. But if you said to me, where's Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, any of that, of course, I'd be able to spot where New York City is. But any of those, I couldn't tell you.
So we went to a party on Saturday night at somebody's house, and they sent out a message to park on the east side of the street. So we got there early because there were going to be a lot of cars and we didn't want to walk far. And so as we're pulling into the neighborhood, Georgianne says, "Now, which side is the east side of the street?" I said, "I have no idea."
The last person.
So we had to wait for somebody else to arrive.
Oh, that's great.
You have a compass on your car?
Funny.
Probably.
They have them on your phones. too.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Do you guys think that common knowledge is shallower than it's ever been?
I think there's less pressure to retain it because you just grab your phone. Right?
Yeah.
Like think about directions. When you were younger, you just knew where things were, and you'd be like, "I just turn left at the McDonald's, and you're second right after that, and you're there." And now you just follow a map. It's just easier, so you don't have to retain. I can't retain a phone number. I know like 3 phone numbers. I used to know everybody's phone number that was in my class. That was, my parents. I knew my mom's work number. Like, you just knew all of those things by heart. And now it's like I know 3 numbers.
I feel like back in the day, you're right about directions. I actually knew the names of streets.
Yes.
Now I like, even in my own
This one
neighborhood,
follows that one,
besides
follows that one.
The main
Yeah.
one, I don't know all the names of the streets. You used to have to know that. And you're right. With the computer, you don't have to know squat.
I feel like civics knowledge is not very strong
For
in this
sure.
country.
Yeah.
at
Has it
all.
ever been? Like, was it?
I think it, yeah.
Yeah, because
I think it's decreased since the 50s.
Yeah.
I think kids who went to school in the 50s knew more than I did going in the 60s and 70s, but I knew way more than the kids who came after me because we had a specific civics class for a whole semester, and Mr. Harbke took it very seriously, and we all had the little pocket constitution. And
yeah,
I may have known more about the Constitution then than I did in law school. It was just very, kind of pounded into your head. Plus, we had I'm Just a Bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, we had, yeah.
I learned a lot of
What
stuff.
was that called? Schoolhouse
Schoolhouse
Rock.
Rock,
Schoolhouse
yeah.
Rock. Do you think kids in high school right now, if we went and said how many members of Congress there are, do you think they would have any clue that it's 435?
No.
I really? Do you think if you said how many senators are you,
Yeah.
or you think they know?
I think
that?
everybody knows
probably
that one.
closer on that
Yeah,
one,
I think
yeah.
everybody knows that
Yeah.
one.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I really doubt it.
Or how many justices of the Supreme Court there are?
Soon to be
11.
11.
You think they're going to expand?
No. I think if Trump gets his 3rd term, they will, but
Luke on the string brings up an interesting point. He says there's also more now than there ever has been in history to learn and remember, more cities, more products created, more people to know. There's maybe not actually more, but we're aware of more, I guess, with the 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah.
There's so many different things to keep a lid on, I suppose.
I think what's probably most annoying to me just day late. I don't know a lot of those things just like off the top of my head. But when something comes up, I look it up. And I feel like we need more people to do that. Like that, to me, there's no excuse to
For
not
not knowing.
find something.
Yeah.
You may not know it. Like I may not have it memorized. I might not know that thing intricately, but there are so many places that have that information and you can find it in seconds. And if you choose not to, that's on you.
yeah.
The phone has so changed our lives because you'd go to a dinner party and you say, "Man, I wonder whatever happened to Lorne Green."
Yeah.
And
This is
just
an
know.
hour-long
Yeah.
discussion last time I saw it.
right. And
Yeah.
then somebody looks it up. He died. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
weird.
yeah. Next topic.
Poor guy.
When was the last time you read an article from start to finish?
this morning.
Yeah, like every day.
Always.
Do you read what percentage of the articles do you think you read all the way? If you just quit halfway through because you get the general gist.
I can tell you, I look for the information I'm looking for and I stop.
Right.
And I get frustrated when it's not in the first paragraph.
If it's not related to what I'm working on, I don't read the whole thing. I get the main points and then I move on to the next thing.
I've come to look at traditional journalism as a scam just because I'm lazy, where I'm like, you're trying to suck me into this thing. Just tell me what I need
You're
to
trying
know.
to give me all the information available on this topic.
I don't need extraneous notes on this, boys.
I mean,
okay?
it is true that in most articles, the later you get into it, the more it's not the main point. Right. So, I mean, if you're starting to get like, okay, I don't need to know that person's history beyond what I was looking for, that's a different thing.
We do the swam?
Sure.
Tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union. I've been with them now for 2 years and haven't looked back. I still have the same bank that I've had 30 years, maybe more than that. Things that they do, things that the credit union does. I would never take out a car loan at my bank because the credit union has much better rates. Putting money in the checking account is also not a zero-sum game because at First Missouri Credit Union, they have 4.27% interest on your checking account alone, up to $100,000. And it's not like a popularity contest, but at the bank, they look down those little bifocals at you. And at the credit union, they're just cool. They're not stupid. They're not going to give you what you want just because you want it if it hurts the rest of the members. But they have a big fat thumb on the side of the scale to say yes all the time. 314-544-5050, the number one, STMOCU.org.
Who's been talking about St. Louis sports since 1985? Bernie Miklasz.
This is going to be a likable team. I don't know how many games you're going to win. You're down 7-1, and at that point, they weren't deflated. They weren't demoralized. They're like, all right, good for you guys. You hit us in the mouth. You drew blood. We just tasted our own blood. Now we're going to knock you on your ass. Let's go.
Bernie Miklasz. Hear what he has to say on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
All about sunshine as we go through our Monday afternoon. Temperature's pretty nice, about where we should be in early April. 62 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. A little cold front coming in. It could squeeze out just a little bit of light rain or sprinkles, even a couple of sloppy, wet snowflakes mixed in as we fall back to about 35. Tuesday, more clouds and sunshine. Bit of a chilly day on Tuesday. Northwest flow, 54. But then here comes the jump up again. Wednesday, partly sunny and 73. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up, Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes, and $100 off a new garage door.
Hi, I'm Michelle from Bethesda. You've probably heard me talk with Dave on the air about Bethesda in general, but not specifically about the Bethesda Terrace Independent Living Community in Oakville. What makes Bethesda Terrace truly special is our gorgeous 10-acre backyard with water features and walking paths. It's the perfect place to relax and enjoy yourself with friends. And if you have a dog, we have a dog park. Our experienced team would love to show you how easy it is to join the Bethesda family. Go to BethesdaHealth.org and click Contact Us. Complete the form. We'll take it from there.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Missouri. It's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers, advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Lance Story Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Lance Story Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems, call me, Lance Drury in St. Louis at 314-260-6120 or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Okay, so let's talk about politics, Trump, Iran, all that kind of stuff. And I have the president's Truth Social from Easter morning, and we've all heard it by now, but I'm going to read it again. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight, although he spells out effing. You crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. Okay, I have two major thoughts, then I'm going to shut up and let you guys talk. My first one is this. You don't have to be a political expert, and you don't have to be a psychiatrist to recognize very common human behavior. We've all negotiated something, and we've all had a fight with our spouse, right? And we know when we're losing. And if Trump was really so confident, he would say, 48 hours, it's Tuesday at 5 p.m., I'll see you boys then. And he would remain quiet. The fact that the very next day after saying they have 48 hours, he's like, open the effing straight, blah, 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 I'm going to shut down your power plants, which I believe is a war crime.
It is.
Then to me, he is very third grade level-ish showing his hand. I'm scared. I don't have a way out of this. You guys are in control. I think Iran. Did you ever see the movie Barfly with Mickey Rourke? He's an alcoholic who hangs out in bars, and his thing is he likes getting beat up. And the whole movie is just people, he starts trouble, and they beat the hell out of him, but he never, ever gives up. He's on the ground bleeding, and they're like, you had enough? He's like, no, I love it. That's Iran. That's what Iran has done to us. They had a plan for the past 47 years. They knew this would happen eventually. We're going to get the snot beat out of us, but we're not going to give up, and we're stronger than they think we are. And so far, the regime has changed, seemingly for the worst. More hardline guys. The Strait of Hormuz is just effed, right?
Yeah.
And so that's my first thing. It seems to me that he is showing us that he's terrified and showing Iran. The second thing is this. Let me get that up again so I can. I'm in favor of the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
Because we'll have this talk and nothing will happen. And I know that. But how about this point? If any president in the history of the United States, other than Trump, posted this, we would have a real conversation about the 25th Amendment. If Obama posted this, we would all be saying he's had a stroke because it's so outside of his normal, the way he comports himself. I don't think the fact that Trump came into the job crazy should protect him when he gets crazier. It should be, is this appropriate for a United States president?
No, absolutely is not. And it does read like the rantings of an insane person. I mean, and as a tactical matter, Dave, to your point, That's not a tactic. And remember, he's already moved this deadline at least 2 other times. Bombing the bridges and the power plants and all of that sort of thing. The United States military, I've talked to several folks in the military. They have war gamed out bombing Iran for decades. In fact, one of the classified documents that Trump had at Mar-a-Lago was a Iranian bombing
Remember that
plan. And they have war gamed this out. They knew, the folks in the Pentagon knew, because they game it out, that if we did attack Iran, that one of the consequences was going to be that Iran was going to retaliate by bombing other nations in the Mideast, and they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz. So this wasn't a surprise to anybody other, perhaps, than Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. But, I don't know how we extricate ourselves from this situation now. I really don't.
I think, here's my prediction. Within the next few days, couple of weeks, Trump is going to declare victory.
I hope.
Bring everyone home.
I hope.
And leave Europe to deal with the strait and let the chips fall.
Yeah. I mean, that's a terrible outcome, but it may be the best of a series of bad choices.
Michael, what do you think?
I don't know. The threats of bombing the power plants and the bridges just make me sick to death. And the reason why is, I'm not a military expert. When you read this, there's 90 million people in this country. It's not like, it's just one giant city like Baghdad was, and you're going to mess with those people. I mean, these people are spread out. There's 90 million of them. And just imagine, say they was going to try to bomb Trump in Washington, D.C., right? And you're going to cut our power off out here in St. Louis. You're going to radicalize all of these people who some are supportive of us doing the regime change, et cetera, to just ruin the lives of 90 million people. That's a lasting consequence that just scares the heck out of me. And I feel like my whole life we've been dealing with this extremism and terrorism, and I think this is just like throwing jet fuel on it, not to mention the guy's crazy and nuts. And I can't even pay attention. When it came up yesterday at our Easter discussion, I just walked away from it because he should have been done the day he pointed out he did the videos of the Obamas as monkeys. It's so absurd that I think that's a part of what he's trying to get us to do. And maybe that's part of what's going on here, is that people just become numb to it, and we all accept that our president is crazy. And I don't understand how these senators, many of them who know better, or at least did know better, are continuing to sit by day after day watching this stuff, knowing the path they're being taken.
Stockholm syndrome. That's what's going on here. It's they've been taken captive by none of these. Well, few of these Republicans in the Senate came into office with this particular policy set of beliefs or ideologies, and they've been taken captive. They've been held prisoner, and at some point you begin to like your captor. I think that's what's going on here.
But John and Michael, what I don't understand is, what is the president's goal here? Like, if I understood more of what we were working towards, because you're talking about, these senators, this isn't what they believe, but they're doing it for a reason. What is that goal that is being worked towards? Because I don't understand.
I think there's two things. I think the senators are afraid of them, and they've thrown their lot in completely. And I'm talking about Republicans. And there's some good old Republicans there that are going along for this nonsense. I don't mean to sound so simple as it relates to Trump. I think this is all about distracting people from the Epstein files.
Really?
I truly believe there is something in the Epstein files, maybe related to the first lady, maybe specifically to him. There is something he does not want us to deal with, because why else would we be going down this road?
Well, that's patently obvious, right?
And I think it's as much to do with as someone with ADHD, you're always looking for the next shiny thing. And I think that he's always looking for the next shiny thing. That's why he's truth socialing at 4 a.m. And I think that he thought, because I think he believes Hegseth, that we could do this with air power.
Right.
And on the very first day, I remember the very first day when CNN and even Fox had all the military guys on, they said, I'll tell you one thing, you can't do it with air power. You're going to need boots on the ground for regime change. I think he wanted to be a wartime president.
Yeah. I mean, look, he just kind of connect the dots. There's a reason why he kept that bombing Iran classified document post-presidency. It's something he'd been thinking about before. We know that Bibi Netanyahu and his predecessors have all come to Washington, D.C. and urged presidents going all the way back to, who knows, Reagan, that they want to bomb Iran. They want to take on Iran. And every time, every president has said no. It's why we war game bombing Iran in the Pentagon, because it's something that's been discussed for decades. Why we're doing it this time, Rachel, I think is, anybody's guess. But he certainly had pressure from Bibi Netanyahu to join Israel and take out this problem. And look, Iran's a malign actor with a horrible government, a repressive system, a regime that has killed its own people. I'd love to see a regime change there, but this ain't how you do it.
Have you guys heard the auto pin sound yet? So I sent this. I send a couple things to Andrew every day, and I say real ? And he typically comes back and says no. He's dealing with a boomer. And I sent this one about an hour ago. I said, real? And he's like, yep. So this is not on the level what we're talking about.
Right.
This is a lark, but it's just like a brick in the wall. Yesterday was the egg roll at the White House. And at some point, the president sits down at a table with a bunch of kids, like I did yesterday. And what do? You talked about kids stuff. Hey, it's Easter. That's a great looking egg. Where did you find that? Can I have this one? Oh, I'm going to take it. He talked about Joe Biden and the auto pen. So it's kind of bad sound, but you have to picture him sitting with a bunch of like kindergartners, and they're all looking at him like, I don't know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Biden would use the auto pen. He'd have an auto pen problem. Joe Biden. He was incapable of signing things. So they follow him around with this big machine. You know what it's called? An auto pen. And he'd have the auto pen signed for him. He'd take the paper, hand it to his guys, and sign it with an auto pen. It's not too good.
I mean, right?
And the kids are like, when do we get our candy?
Yeah. Right. Oh,
we have 3 more years.
Maybe. Mother Nature could play a role here. He doesn't look like the healthiest of people, although his gene line seems to live a long time. But I don't have confidence that his health will hold.
Yeah, and the 25th Amendment.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen is right.
Yeah, they're a bunch of lemmings, and I don't watch Fox News, so I'm not in that vortex. But is any of the reality saturating into?
Not really,
because everything I see online is Fox News saying, "Oh, we took out this drone, we took out that drone." I just wonder if any of this.
Yeah,
stuff...
I watched Fox News Sunday yesterday on purpose, and it was very little of that. Really tell the difference. Let me tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. They're a great company. As I always say, if you watch television, you're going to see window ads, you're going to see plaintiffs' attorneys ads, you're going to see drug ads. So there's a lot of window companies out there competing. I picked Universal Windows Direct to be my window company. I'll be really honest with you, because I was taken in by their television commercials, because the other ones all seem to be very into themselves and look at me, I should have been on Saturday Night Live. And Universal Windows Direct just said, here are our windows. Here's our guarantee. The people who make our windows are great. The people who install them are great. And I like that. They've been very good to me. They've been very good to you guys. They always have a deal. Right now, you buy 2 windows, you get 2 for free with no limit. 24 months with not only no interest, but no payments, and $500 off your total bill at the end. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to kingdomox.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it.
Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. This was only a test.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
We're starting a program here in the upper GI space called PREVENT. That's the acronym, and it's really aimed at trying to detect these cancers early and even to kind of, reverse them and understand kind of the science behind why they form.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
$149 DGS, Hancock and Kelly hanging out with us. Okay, we just had a very intelligent, textured conversation. So let's do something really stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw this on the internet yesterday. You get $100 million. All
right.
But for the rest of your life, there is a snail stalking you. And if the snail touches you in any way, you die instantly. The snail can only move like a snail moves, but it's a very smart snail. And it can get on boats, and it can get on planes, and it always knows where you are. But it's a snail.
I'm not doing it. I'm not taking.
You don't want that
$100 million.
stress.
No, I don't want the stress because so say I was going to the ball game tonight, right? I think you're going to be sitting
around
in the green seats. I'm going to be spending my whole time looking at it. Even on a private plane, I'm going to be worried that snail's there, and then the stress of having that $100 million and trying to protect it. No, I'm not doing it.
Why wouldn't you just kill the thing?
Because if you touch it, it dies.
Well, I
You
wouldn't
die.
touch it with my hand or foot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Part of it is meat knife. Part of it is
I don't like this snail.
It lives forever and it can't be killed.
An eternal, immortal snail.
So you'd have to hire yourself like Secret Service agents everywhere you go to make sure that the snail is not around you.
Well, now it's how much money? 100 million?
100 million.
So what if I paid somebody to scoop up the snail and toss it?
You can't do that.
It always comes back.
Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you could.
You'd have a bodyguard. You pay him well. And instead of looking for people trying to assassinate you, you just have his eyes on the ground all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could make that work.
I think that's the way to go.
I could make that work.
So I just asked ChatGPT, how long would it take a snail to travel 1 mile? And it's several days. So I figure if you give yourself 100 miles of cushion and then you move again after about 90 days.
But they can get on boats and planes.
Well, I know, but they have to if it takes
they gotta get there.
If I go 1,000 miles away, it's still going to take it days just to get to an airport.
Okay.
I feel like I can stay ahead of the snail is what I'm saying.
What if you took a cab to the airport?
Good luck. How's he getting up there?
But you could never be at peace in one place. So even
I'd
if
be
you
rich,
had the
though.
$100 million,
Yeah.
you would never have a home. You'd always
That's right.
have to be moved.
Have like 10 different homes. Just
Okay, I got another one. This one's only for $1 million.
Okay, $1 million.
Can you, within 24 hours, run 24 miles, eat 24 burgers, and have 24 beers?
Nope.
No.
Yes. I could.
I like Kelly's confidence.
I could. I would eat the burger. I'd eat like some of the burgers, go to sleep, then get up and run. I can do 24 miles. I can't do it quickly. And then I could finish the other burgers and
as you go.
Yeah. After I finished running, I would be able to finish the burgers in that 24 hours. I'd probably have the hardest time pounding down the 24 beers.
How are you going to do all that running when you're drunk?
Right.
Well, I wouldn't. I'd have to do the running all at once.
I get
You'd
you.
have to treat it like a marathon. So you'd have to take like 6 or 8 of your hours to do that.
That's probably the smart way
But
to
I
do
would
it.
eat, sleep, run, eat, drink. I would have a hard time getting those 24 beers down.
Well, I couldn't physically run 24 miles, so I'm out.
Yeah, I'd have to do the one at a time, maybe 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Knees don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, keep your $1,000,000.
You
there.
could do it.
Right? You don't think you could do it?
I don't think I could run 24. I
If anyone in this room can, it's you.
yeah, and I don't think I can. Like that's I maybe if it was like a dog was chasing me or something, like I was in fear for my life,
Yeah. That's
I
a
could
long way
run
for
the
a dog to
24
chase you.
miles. But no, people train for months to
Right.
run a
That's
marathon.
a
Like
good point.
you hit a wall, it becomes extrely phically and mentally difficult. I
did it,
haven't trained.
And I didn't train. You could do it.
You re-
Oprah ran a marathon, for God's sakes.
Well, I could see myself really, really struggling to finish that 24 miles. And then I got to eat 24 burgers and 24 beers.
Okay, what
the food
if-
portion I'm good. I'd be able to do.
What if
that,
we
but-
could take the 3 events
All right.
and break them up within this room?
All right. I'm in for the burgers.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll drink the 24 beers.
Really?
Yeah, I could
I'd
do
the
it.
run.
I can't tell you how
In
often she
20
says that.
In 24 hours, I could. I don't want to, but I could do it.
So is the requirement that you have to run 24 miles or just cover 24
You got to cover
miles?
it.
Oh, if we're just covering it, then I can do
I just looked
this.
it up. At normal walking speed, it's like 10 hours to walk 24 miles.
Right.
So if you could just walk and drink beer and eat at the same time, and you're going to be burning calories, maybe it is doable out of walking, just walking.
I didn't think about
'Cause
that.
that's only 10 hours.
Yeah. But you would definitely
Only
have
10
to,
hours.
You would definitely have to drink a beer every 2 or 3 miles to
Well, that's my
keep
point,
your
right.
24 down.
Yeah, for sure.
But think of how sleepy you get whenever you drink a beer.
Yeah, the beer would be hard because I hate beer. So that'd be good.
And what if that snail was on your path?
Well, I just keep moving,
That's the only
baby.
way I'd be
Hey,
able
put
to
it
do
this
it.
way: if I just keep walking, he ain't never catching me.
Only on the Glover show, this.
Yeah.
This is only on your
The
show.
magic snail.
What's the snail's problem with me, by the way? Is that ever explained?
No,
He
it's
just
not,
wants to kill me.
It's not personal.
Okay.
Yeah, not personal.
It's just his job.
Yeah.
It's his singular task in life.
He's a Sicario.
He's like, sorry about this, but
All right. Thank you, boys.
See ya.
Tell you guys about my friend Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. The bagel loan, of course, is called the bagel loan because a bagel looks like a 0 and it's 0 fees. It's an easy way to remember it. So what does that mean? You know, like I've heard that, you know, Annie has been doing lives for Stewie for years and years. And I would hear the bagel loan, bagel because it looks like a 0. Okay, fine. Kind of over my, you know, anywhere in one ear out the other. And then when I sat down with Stewie and he's like, look, this is really special because we're the only place in the St. Louis metropolitan who chooses to do this. Everyone could do it. It's perfectly legal. But what he does is he doesn't employ commission salespeople. So he doesn't pay commission salespeople. So he saves that money, which means more money for, you know, the Stewie bank account. But he decided years ago to take that windfall and pay off the fees. So no one can get you into a loan, whether it's refinancing, debt consolidation, or an original buying a house, less expensively with better customer service than Stewie and his son Jordan. Call his cell phone anytime, day or night, or text him 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS 226715.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
All right, guys, it wraps up tonight. March Madness ends with the championship game, and FanDuel Sportsbook is making it even more fun. Of course, FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of KMOX. It is the official sportsbook of Kevin Wheeler as well. And it's the last college basketball game of the year tonight, and FanDuel is giving everyone a profit boost. And you can do what you want with it. Build a same-game parlay for a shot at a little bit bigger payout. You can go straight up. I've already put this profit boost to use. I'm on Michigan. I gave the points. I'm totally fine with that because I noticed the points moved in the right direction for me today, so I got a little bit better number, and now I'm in on Michigan tonight against UConn. You can do any way you want. You can do live betting, jump in after the open tip. Like I said, you can pull together a parlay if you want to get a little bit bigger winning. But best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. So if you want to take advantage, go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. That's where you claim your profit boost, and you can keep the action going throughout the night tonight. FanDuel is where you get to play your game. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens, and restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. You can see terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we have sunshine and 62 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Maria Kina in for Michael Calhoun. Our top story: President Trump says Iran is on a deadline to open up the Strait of Hormuz or face consequences. Iran rejected the latest ceasefire proposal, saying it wants a permanent end to the war. The plan, brokered by Pakistan, calls the 45-day ceasefire and reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The president shared his terms for a ceasefire.
We have to have a deal that's acceptable to me. And part of that deal is going to be we want free traffic of oil.
President Trump warned the U.S. will escalate strikes on civilian infrastructure if Tehran does not open the waterway by Tuesday evening. It's a picture-perfect day for the crew of NASA's Artemis 2. They're expected to take thousands of pictures as they loop around the moon this afternoon. Details from CBS News correspondent Peter King.
They will be farther into space than anybody else has ever been before. That'll be 252,760 miles.
And NASA's first crew, its mission to the moon in more than 50 years. An overnight house fire in Troy, Illinois, leaves 3 people dead.
The Madison County Sheriff's Office says its deputies and firefighters with the Troy Fire Department responded to a house fire with people trapped inside around 11:15 Sunday night. They believe there was also an explosion. While several residents were able to escape without injury, firefighters found 3 individuals dead inside the home. One additional person found with significant burns and taken to a nearby hospital. The investigation is ongoing. The sheriff's office says there is no known threat to the community at this time. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
From the KMOX business desk, market hopes for a ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran set stocks higher following the holiday weekend. CBS's Jason Brooks has more.
Oil prices have been up and down after Iran rejected the U.S. ceasefire proposal, with U.S. crude futures coming off of their highest settlement in nearly 4 years. Investors are also getting the chance to react to the March jobs report, which was released by the federal government on Friday, although the stock market was closed. The report was better than expected, with a gain of 178,000 jobs in March, bouncing back from a decline of 133,000 the previous month, although February was revised even lower from the initial estimate.
Wall Street is expecting the Federal Reserve to maintain the pause on interest rates through the rest of 2026. And a check of the Dow from Stifel at this hour, it is up 108.15 points to 46,612. A check of traffic at this hour for eastbound 270 drivers right before Limburg. Watch out. You have a vehicle fire there reported on the right shoulder now. All lanes still remain open. And for westbound 370 drivers before 141, the right shoulder is closed, and that is for ongoing road work. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, it's sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies. Dave Murray has the forecast.
All about sunshine as we go through our Monday afternoon. Temperatures pretty nice, about where we should be in early April. 62 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. A little cold front coming in. It could squeeze out just a little bit of light rain or sprinkles, even a couple of sloppy wet snowflakes mixed in as we fall back to about 35. Tuesday, more clouds and sunshine. Bit of a chilly day on Tuesday. Northwest flow 54. But then here comes the jump up again. Wednesday, partly sunny and 73. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
63 in St. Peters. It is 62 in Florissant. Downtown of the Arts at 62. I'm Maria Kina, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday. Gorgeous day out there. Can I share what the person said or should I not?
Oh, sure.
All these people talking about the snail thing I was talking about, the snail test, and then out of nowhere, someone goes, Rachel is hot. never says that about me and Wheels.
That's all right.
Sometimes they do.
They say it about me sometimes.
Well, you have those pinchable,
those pinchable cheekbones.
Yeah. They say, let's see them. Come on, let's see them. Whip them out. And I'm like, I'm more than just my cheekbones.
My gosh.
He's our Trump. Andrew is our Trump.
Someone say the best cheekbones ever.
Someone say the best cheekbones ever. I would never say that. They say it. And I say, come on, I'm more than just my cheekbones.
You can squeeze them. I tried to put a mask on over the weekend. The mask wouldn't stay on.
I tried to put, believe this. Do you believe that? I tried to put a mask on over the weekend. Wouldn't fit over the cheekbones. I told them it wasn't going to fit. They said, sir, you have to put the cheekbones.
Seen cheekbones like this before.
Sir, you have to put the mask on. It's the rules. And I said, the rules don't apply to me because of the cheekbones.
You're also getting love for your Fugazi shirt. Dude.
Yeah. Cool.
Very nice.
Okay, I've been talking for an hour. Someone else take over. Rach, you got a bunch of stuff.
I had a weird coincidence over the weekend.
Okay.
I bought a jar of olives, as I often do. And this was kind of like these were on sale and they're like not a great brand. So I had never had them before, but I just wanted some. I didn't want to spend a lot. So I bought this.
Do you think you have a poor outlook? There's a word for that, but I'm saying it the wrong way. What's it called?
A scarcity
mindset.
Rachel, you think you're just a huge bummer all the time?
I think in certain situations, yes. Other times it's like, well, I've already got a bunch of stuff in my cart. I would like the olives. We'll try out this brand because they're on sale.
Because I have an inverse
now I'm really
one.
thinking about this.
No, I have an inverse one, which I think you might too, where something that's $5,000, I'm like, well, of course it's $5,000. I want it. But if something's $299, but I feel like it should be $199, I'm like, oh God, I don't know about that.
I see what you're saying.
So I understand your olive kerfuffle.
Yeah, with the olives, it's like I could spring for the ones like from the deli section that come in the plastic container, and they're like,
right.
Yeah, those are really nice. But other times I'm like, I'm just going to get a jar. That way I don't have to worry about like finishing them in a certain amount of time or something. Not that the olives go bad. I don't know.
And we heard the kind of olives that Rachel likes about 2 weeks ago. Wheels, do you remember?
Nope.
Wasn't listening. I actually don't know the answer to this
anything
either.
that's
No, I don't care.
I don't register anything with olives.
Wheels not really a play along kind of guy, is he? Yeah.
What olives did I say I liked?
You either like them pitted or not pitted, and I don't remember that part, but the ones that you had were the wrong kind. I think they were full with something else like toenails. So
I don't
Dave's like pitted or not pitted, black or green. Sometimes stuffed, perhaps not.
I don't know. It could be any of those
Stuffed with
things.
something or else empty.
I like
I
stuffed
just said I've been
olives.
talking for an hour and
I'm sorry, Dave.
I'm
Okay.
completely taking over her thing.
It's okay. I brought up the olive thing. You thought to yourself, dang, this girl is so cheap. And then the
They were like-
conversation went from there.
They were like green olives, right? That had something.
I like
bad
pretty
in
much
them.
every olive you throw my way. I do like when I like a green olive that's stuffed, especially with garlic or with blue cheese. That is
Okay.
like yum. So I bought these blue cheese stuffed olives. This was a mistake because that's one like you should get a better quality. The blue cheese was like gritty and like I wasn't really enjoying myself. Yes, I did still eat the whole jar, but that's beside the point. When I first opened this discount jar of olives, keep in mind they're stuffed with blue cheese. So one would think there's no pits here. First olive I get, there's a pit.
Yeah.
And I turned to Kurt and I said, the first olive has a pit, so watch out. All right. We proceed to eat the rest of we proceed to eat some more olives. They go in the fridge for a couple days. They come back out last night. Finishing the olives. Kurt gets the last olive. The last olive in the jar had a pit as well. So the first and last had a pit. And I thought, I should talk about this on the radio. They're going to eat this up. They're going to love this. So
Dave Hines
that's what
says-
happened. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Dave Hines says olives are just Satan's grapes.
You're so wrong, Dave. You're so wrong.
I wish I liked olives. I love everything about them. I like how they're grown. I like the history. I like that the trees are 1,000 years old. I like how they make it. I like that it's an artisan. I just don't like how it tastes.
Yeah, it tastes like butt.
It tastes like deliciousness.
I will say it's weird though. I don't like olives, but capers are great.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I totally agree.
That's
it doesn't.
interesting.
Probably because they're tiny little, because there's not that many of them when you get them.
What is a caper? Is
It's
that
a little tiny olive.
Is it a? Oh, okay.
I like those.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They're good on fish.
Yeah. So anyway, the next time I get some olives, I'm going to spring for maybe like the Mario brand. Those are solid. Probably not going to get any pits with those.
And what's your roly-poly thing?
Okay, so the other day I'm coming home from the grocery store. This is actually when I bought the olives, if you can believe it. It all
Wow.
ties together.
Man,
it's a hell of a day.
Carrying my groceries
This is
inside.
like watching a TED Talk.
Carrying my groceries inside, and I get to my front door, and it's right next to my neighbor's front door. I live in an apartment. My neighbor's front door looks so much better than mine. And I'm like, why is that? And then I realize, oh, her welcome mat looks lovely. My welcome mat is nowhere to be found. Now, it's been windy. I thought there's a possibility the welcome mat has blown away. Turns out it did. It had blown into my other neighbor's yard, and I had to go down there and grab it out of their yard. And when I picked it up, it's covered in roly-polies.
Oh, pill bugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about roly-polies in a
Yeah.
long time. I just haven't come across them.
They're the
But
best.
when I was a kid, I loved them, and I would like pick them up and play with them. But as an adult, I was pretty put off by them and like, shook them off the welcome mat before I put it back down in front of my door. But then I was thinking, I used to play with those and be perfectly fine with them. Same thing with like a fuzzy caterpillar. I would like let that crawl like up and down my arm as a kid. And now if I saw one, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to touch that. Why is that? Like what changed within me to make me reject these bugs?
Thinking too much. When you're a kid, you don't think. You're just like, look at that. That's cool and different. I can play with that.
Or not
It's
thinking
true.
enough as a kid.
Right. That's what I mean. Right. Good point. It's probably that. It's like as an adult, we just think. And as a kid, you don't. You're like, oh, what's that?
Or like picking up daddy long legs.
Yeah.
I would never do that now. I don't want to.
I couldn't do that then.
No.
Anything arachnidy.
They don't even look. They just look like those little guys from War of the Worlds.
Yeah. No things. Like I had a pet skunk.
What?
Which was
That's
a
fun.
terrible idea. But
What was his name? Elvis?
no, I don't remember. We only had him like 3
Was
days.
his name Stinky?
Well, I guess he was so young.
You only had him 3 days?
Well, because he didn't have a stink sack.
Okay.
And then I guess he developed one while we had him. So,
Okay. I don't know if you can call that a pet. That's like a
3-day pet?
hotel visitor.
Yeah.
You were an Airbnb or you were a B&B for a skunk.
Would you like hold him and pet him?
I'm sure I
Assuming
held
it
him
was
at
a boy.
one point, but he pretty much lived in the cage and he
Okay.
hissed a lot.
Yeah. He probably
Um,
didn't like that whole.
My next door neighbors had a pet squirrel in a cage named Charlie for years, it seemed like. I don't know how long these guys live, but
Did Charlie seem happy?
yeah, Charlie was cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Did
good.
they like let him out and he'd run around and play with?
No,
things?
I
Or
always
he's just
saw
always
him
in the cage.
In the cage.
That's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about when my dad's neighbor kids had a squirrel that would come around? They named it Buddy, and they never like caged it or anything. It would just like live in their garage and like hang out with them and play in the yard. And so one day they come running up to my dad, who's sort of like a surrogate grandpa for the neighborhood. Excuse me. They come running up and they're like, Buddy's dead, and they're holding this like dead squirrel. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, Buddy got hit by a car. So they hold a funeral for Buddy, and Dad has to like dig a grave for the squirrel and throw it in, and they has to like do all this stuff and like prepare a gravestone.
Why is he laughing?
It
Yeah,
gets funny
I'm not
because
sure.
the next day the kids are like, Buddy came back, and like it was a different squirrel. So my dad just like buried a random squirrel and like held a funeral for it.
You are amused by the most bizarre things. In the world.
God, it's so funny. He was so mad about it.
And now the voice is going up.
It's funny. The squirrel didn't actually die. It was some other.
Well, a squirrel died.
Yeah, there's a dead squirrel on
Yeah,
our
they
hands.
tend to do that. I don't know if you've ever been around squirrels much.
I just don't revel in it.
They tend to eat it quite a bit.
Now I'm thinking about my scarcity mindset. I'm like, dang, I guess I do have that.
I bet I've attended 10 animal funerals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phoebe had fish,
Mhm.
and not only did we have a full blown funeral, she made caskets out of Sculpey.
Adorable.
And yeah, one of the maddest she's ever been at me when I think it was when the guinea pig died, and she made it a pretty big.
Is this Molly?
Yeah, Molly made a pretty big coffin, and as we were burying it, I broke the lid. Oh, she was mad. She was like 5. I was terrified of her.
Wait.
Yeah.
Molly was when
Don't bury
Phoebe
me,
was
wait.
older. This had to be a different guinea pig.
Yeah, because Molly, she was like
Molly
when she
was on the
in,
show when I was on the show.
Yeah, like 13, 14, 15. Phoebe was when you had Molly.
I think that's the only rat-like thing we've ever had.
Could there have been 2 Mollys? Did we have Molly and Molly 2? And maybe
No,
maybe
nothing
when
like
she
that.
wasn't looking, you swapped them out.
Nothing like that. I remember burying my dog Bandit. That was very sad because I was like 15 when Bandit died. And I remember we buried it in Lester Opal's yard next door. I don't know how that happened, but I was standing there with my dad and Lester, both like old, jaded men. And I'm just bawling my eyes out. And I remember being embarrassed by it, but I
Oh,
couldn't
no,
stop.
that's your dog.
Yeah, you can
There's
cry.
no
You can
shame
cry
in
when
that.
it's your dog.
There's no
But
better
if
time
it's
to
a
cry,
squirrel, you
really.
gotta laugh at it.
If it's not your squirrel, if a bunch of kids come running up with a dead squirrel in their hands and we're like, oh no, this is our pet, and you have to like bury it and pretend to be sad about it for them.
I mean, how deep was the hole? How long did the burying take?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, I could bury a squirrel in
Squirrel's like
minutes.
1 pound.
I think he went pretty far down because he didn't want to like the squirrel getting like washed up. Because he had to bury it in his yard. So now he's had to rip up my yard for a damn squirrel and throw it in there.
Oh my God, he's doing it again.
He's about to.
Funny.
Takeoff says Andrew's laugh sounds exactly like the Joker from Batman the Animated Series.
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Mark
Mark
Hamill.
Hamill. How do you guys not think this is the funniest thing ever?
I just don't. I'm
It
sorry.
is
It's just
bizarre how
not-
much you enjoy that squirrel's death.
It's mildly amusing, I suppose.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Buddy was alive. I'm glad. But
What is the hilarious part? Is it that it was the wrong squirrel, or
It's
just that they
just,
buried a squirrel?
it's just like holding a funeral for like a random squirrel.
I think that's nice.
And it's also the thought
Sweet.
of one of these kids walking up and just like holding out like a dead
Stupid
squirrel.
kids.
Yes.
Mitch says, I hate squirrels so bad they got into my mom's attic in 2021.
So?
Right on. Well, don't say so, Kevin.
I mean, what are they going to do? They going to eat your house?
Right, I don't know what's happening.
Sorry, Mitch. No one cares.
It's my fault because I brought all this dumb stuff up. I should have never put the olives on the show sheet.
No,
I feel like I'm gonna wake up.
I just thought it
You're
was
like,
a fun
what was that?
anecdote.
I'm gonna
It was a fun anecdote.
I'm gonna fumble for my phone and be like, olives. Andrew laughing too much. Because this can't be real life.
Gotta tell this story tomorrow.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet. Mike has been with me for 25 years. As you know, it's about as simple gets because he makes it simple. Like I remember the first time I met him, like, Dave, look, I buy a product from the manufacturer like Mohawk, Coronet, and then I mark it up like everyone does, you know, and he marks it up less than anybody. So he's going to have the best prices on anything you're looking at. Also, he told me one time, kind of a mistake, which I have capitalized on now for 25 years. He said, I've told my guys at all three stores, if someone comes in from the DGS, you make sure you bend over backwards, you twist like a pretzel, anything you need to do to make that sale, because we don't want anyone going back to Dave and saying that we made it difficult on them. So it's an easy shopping experience. It's an easy negotiating experience, and they are great at installation. I have a big, beautiful hardwood floor, parquet kind of thing in my house that they put in, and we absolutely love it. For all things Michael, go to michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The spring cleaning rush at Zero Res. This week's flash sale, $50 per room of carpet clean for unlimited rooms and whole system air duct cleaning for just $599. Visit ZeroResSTL.com to book your appointment. That's ZeroResSTL.com.
The financial industry is getting rich on baby boomers. Don't be their next victim. Find out the truth of what's really going on in the retirement industry. Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, DJS 222. Okay, we were pretty smart in the 1 o'clock. We've been pretty goofy in the 2. Can we get stupid?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a real story, promise. And it's on Drudge if you want to read it yourself. And it is about a study done by a group of gastroenterologists to figure out who has the nastier flatulence, men or women. Okay? I'm just going to read you part of the article. I'm reading it verbatim. This guy's name is Levitt. Levitt invited 16 healthy men and women to consume items that boost gas production, pinto beans, and a synthetic sugar called lactulose. Participants then showed up to the laboratory where a rectal tube was inserted and made a gas-tight seal with their derrieres. The tube was connected to a gas-impermeable bag, and after farting, its contents were subsequently evaluated by chromatography, whatever. The flatulence collected in these bags was then sniffed and rated by 2 independent judges.
Get sommeliers.
On a linear scale, where 0 was no odor and 8 was very offensive.
It stank.
Am I the only one who feels like I would maybe have a difficult time with the whole like tube situation? Like you're just standing around waiting to have gas.
You and 15 other people with tubes in your butt.
Well, you're probably not all like in the same room, like chatting.
And then these judges, how did you find those freaks?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I would not be convinced that I wasn't offering them some sort of gratification, and I don't want to bring that into the scholarly
So
pursuits.
no one's asking me what the outcome was.
Oh yeah, what was the outcome?
Well, I think we know what the outcome was.
It was sort of a tie.
I was gonna say, don't say it's a tie. Don't say they put tubes up all these people, and they had these people get their rocks off on sniffing the farts, and then you're going to tell me it's a tie.
Always a step farther.
Always.
Come on. Are we gonna pretend? Come on.
What are we pretending?
It's like they're doing a scientific experiment, but yeah, it's just because it's sexy.
The sniffers are not. They're getting something out of it. There's no other reason that they would
probably
want
money.
Yeah, but you'd have to pay me a lot of money to
Yeah,
get
I
me
don't
to
know.
sniff
I don't want to be a
mystery
fart
farts.
sniffer. Yeah, that's a bad job.
That sounds pretty awful.
Although, high school and college, you kind of do it semi-pro.
So it's a tie.
Sorry, Dave.
Because a lot of it's based on volume.
Yeah.
Volume is bad.
Right.
And men have more volume.
Yeah.
But
There's more room in there.
And what tempers it for the ladies, I swear to God, this is in the study, is that ladies have developed the talent to dampen their toots and to let them out over a longer period of time so as not to be disgusting. And men are just like,
yeah.
But women have seemingly more potent toots.
Yeah, probably because it is festering in there for longer.
Probably
if I had
so.
to guess.
You're not just letting it out willy-nilly like guys do.
It's like, man, I got
It's not willy-nilly. There's a purpose. Usually to get a laugh.
I fart with purpose. Everything I do is mindful. Even tooting. The noble farter.
You got to take pride.
The noble
in your work.
Noble farter. Everything I do, I approach with complete integrity.
The Duke of Staying.
Andrew, where are you on this one?
Where am I on what? I don't want to smell nothing.
Speaking of studies, they did a
I don't
study.
stink when I do it.
They do a study. Incorrect. He's doing it again.
Did you say
This
don't
is actually
stink?
funny.
No,
yeah.
it do.
Oh, it do. Yeah.
It do.
Okay.
It does.
It do.
Another study in Great Britain has linked people who are getting like Zepbound and Wegovy shots and divorce.
Really?
I guess once people get skinny, they're like, well, I don't have to hang out with your fat ass anymore. So
Wow.
see ya.
That's wild.
That's what happened with Chris Pratt and Anna Faris, probably. She was with him while he was like a big fat dummy, and then he got like super hot and became like a Christian Marvel guy, and he dumped her and got with the governor's young daughter.
How is this
Catherine.
not your
Catherine.
show?
Because it's always a step too far.
Well, it's not a step too far. That's what happened.
I know.
I'm not making things up.
Just assuming reasons that you have no idea are real or not.
Well, it's what I've
It is
always
a pretty
suspected.
educated guess.
It's a pretty educated guess.
I mean, or
I've
they
had
just
similar
fought a lot
thoughts.
and were like, yeah, we should stop doing this.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the timing was like completely coincidental that it happened exactly when he became like a super hot mega Christian weirdo.
Okay, time to talk about the Gelmans. If I may interrupt.
Just because you guys don't know about it doesn't mean it's not real.
Dave's like, may I please do my live?
I'm the only one watching the clock, trying to do our job. I told you it stunk. I don't know what the hell you're doing. All right. Okay. The Gelman team, doesn't matter whether it's a white hot seller's market or it's a buyer's market. You're always going to want to go with the best realtor you can afford. I know from personal experience that the Gelmans have different levels, like I didn't know this. That there's like the typical, like, hey, we're going to list your home and it's going to be this much percentage. And then there's other things you can do. For example, they have this other thing. I don't know what they call it, but like they don't list it, but they go to their buyers in waiting. Hey, this house is for sale. I think this might be something that you'd really like. Let's go take a look at it Saturday at 2 p.m. For a smaller percentage. So they have options. That's the point. They are great at what they do. They're great people, great guys, excellent communicators, really, really good negotiators. It's just one of those things, man. It's like going to see Greg Damon at Sparks Auto. You just know he knows what he's doing, and like Mark Cantor with the Gelmans, they just know what they are doing. If you want to find out what they think your house is worth right now, go to the front page of thegelmanteam.com, put in your address, and they will tell you. When you're ready to talk to a Gelman, 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply.
St. Louis is a baseball town, and the Gas House Gang talks Cardinals baseball. Ackerman, Ranji, Nicholas, and Claves bring informed opinions and real insight. Smart baseball talk from guys who truly know the game. And every Tuesday at noon, it's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. Passion, knowledge, the best baseball talk in town. The Gas House Gang, weekdays at noon. We know baseball. KMOX.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
All about sunshine as we go through our Monday afternoon. Temperature's pretty nice, about where we should be in early April. 62 for the high. Tonight, clouds dominate. A little cold front coming in. It could squeeze out just a little bit of light rain or sprinkles, even a couple of sloppy wet snowflakes mixed in as we fall back to about 35. Tuesday, more clouds and sunshine. Bit of a chilly day on Tuesday. Northwest flow 54. But then here comes the jump up again Wednesday, partly sunny and 73. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up, Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company serving both wholesale and retail markets. free repair or replacement quotes, and $100 off a new garage door.
If every time you have people over, you're embarrassed about your bathroom, it is the perfect time to plan ahead for a spring installation of a new bathroom. At Michael's Bass, they specialize in beautiful, safe bathroom remodels, from tub to shower conversions to full renovations, including the paint and electrical work. Family owned and locally owned, michaelsbass.com. You can plan now for a spring install and ask about financing options, including 0% interest upon approval. michaelsbass.com.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenagers gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. Bernie Nicholas on KMOX is sponsored by Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Every Monday at 2:30 p.m., the great Bernie Nicholas joins us, and he's with us now. Hello, Bern.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, good weekend, good Easter. You know, off to a good start here on Monday. Okay, before we talk baseball, I have a sports issue, and I think you guys are going to crush me.
Oh.
I can't stand the coach of UConn.
Oh.
I can't stand him. And here's what I want to say. I grew up playing sports in the 70s and 80s. I have been yelled at by every coach I've ever had. I get it. It's fine. That doesn't bother me. I'm not woke about that. But anything, to me, it's the difference between your dad spanking your butt and taking his belt off and whipping you. What Hurley does, in my humble opinion, is more akin to taking his belt off. I think he abuses and mistreats his players, and I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I hope he loses by 50 points tonight. I'm guessing you guys look at it a little different than me and make more room for that kind of behavior even 2026.
Well, I know where you're coming from, David. My view is a little softer in this regard. Maybe it's because of where I grew up and the fact that a lot of younger years, you know, I'd be hanging out with dudes from New Jersey. And generally speaking, you know, that's a pretty tough crowd. They like to show off. They like to be jerks. They like to run their mouths. They're very full of themselves. And they kind of invite that type of criticism because they like putting on a show. They like being the center of attention. And you know, I don't know about abusing his players. When I say by that, I'm not saying you're making anything up, Dave. I'm just saying, you know, you're obviously talking about verbal abuse, right?
Yes.
That's hardly anything new, man. I mean, it's hardly anything new. But the difference with this guy is that if you would mention 4 or 5 other coaches and, you know, the stuff they said to their player, and, you know, just horrible things. You shouldn't say that to a player. Those guys would be really embarrassed and they would be trying to distance themselves from it or trying to make amends. I was wrong. That'll never happen again. The difference between them and Hurley is that Hurley actually kind of enjoys being the bad boy guy. He just does. He likes being the jerk.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't like him. I
Yeah.
think I see what he's doing, and I'm like, oh, I see what you're doing.
Well, to me, that there are different issues here. Like I don't have an issue with guys that yell at players and get in their faces and all that. It's intense. You're in the middle of a competition and you're trying to get something out of someone. Now, there can be a line that's crossed. If you get personal, if you insult their family, like, there are lines just like there are anywhere else. But if it's just screaming and yelling and it's all related to what's happening on the court and this person's screwing up and they're not getting the message, that's one thing. But Dan Hurley is also a bully to the officials, and he's a hypocrite about it because he's always screaming at the referees, always. And he's a jerk to the reporters covering the team. So to me, it's one thing to be coaching hard. That's one thing. It's another thing to be just awful to everyone else in life, because those players can leave. Those are super talented players. If they don't want to be coached that way, if they don't like it, they can be gone the next year and go get a bunch of money to play somewhere else, because UConn's an elite school. So they have some control. What I hate is that he bullies people that don't. He goes after people that are below him on the food chain in a setting where he's not the boss. You're not my coach if I'm covering your team. I don't work for you. You don't get to yell at me. You don't get to treat me that way. If I'm a player and I agree to come play for you and I know that's what you're about, that's a different story. And so, it's a weird line, and maybe it moves around a little bit based on who's hearing it. They might think that's an inconsistency. But I've had coaches that are hard on you. I've been hard on players as a coach. But it's got to be directly about performance and about coachable things, and not just personal. You suck, go sit down. Like, you should never say that to a player. So it's all about what's being said rather than how it's being said. But I have no use for anybody that just wants to bully everyone else around them.
It's a good take.
Well, I don't have I don't have a player by player record, but they seem to like him.
Right, and he keeps getting players. So I mean,
they seem to like him, and they'll take less NIL money to play for him, and they sure seem to like the success that they have, and they sure seem to offer a lot of testimony about how much he makes them better. You know, and I don't know, man. I'm just wired a different way. I don't know what. I'm not going to say I'm sorry for being wired a different way. I think it's just because I've been in this business for over 40, 45 years, and stuff that I used to get worked up about, a coach being a jerk, a coach trying to bully people, a coach not being a gentleman or even trying to be a gentleman, always looking to irritate people, annoy people, trigger people. I've seen a million of them. And the other thing, in April the 6th of 2026 in the United States of America, isn't our entire culture that way now, pretty much?
Maybe that's what bothers me. Like I said,
that's right.
I know that everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people out there are going to be like, oh God, Dave's so woke. He doesn't even want coaches yelling at players. But it's not that. Part of me is like, guys, it's 2026. Haven't we figured out a more effective way to motivate young athletes? It just seems so anachronistic to me. And I know it's like the whole story of, this lady would make pot roast and she would put it in 2 different pots, and she did that her whole life. And someone asked her why, and she's like, I don't know, my mom did it that way. And she's like, why'd you do it? She's like, I don't know, but grandma did it that way, because grandma didn't have a big enough pot. And so you kept doing the same mistakes. And I feel like, and I'm really getting on a soapbox, I don't really mean, but, when coaches treat players like this, it seems anachronistic to me. Like we should be better at motivating young athletes.
Can I offer this as a friendly pushback?
Sure.
One of the things about people that coach in Hurley's style, right, is that he gets so much attention from all of us. Like we're talking about him now. There's nothing wrong with talking about him because he's coaching in the national championship game tonight. He's got a good chance to do something nobody's done since John Wooden, which is to win 3 championships in 4 years, which is phenomenal in this era. But we talk about him. I mean, he's catnip to sports writers, even the ones that he bullies. They can't get enough of it. He's great copy. He's a great quote. He's colorful. They love writing about him because he makes it easy. Believe it or not, he makes it easy to do their job, even though he's a jerk, because he provides great and entertaining content. But Dave, the thing I would say to you is there are a lot of coaches. There are many coaches. I would even say most coaches that aren't like him. I mean, they teach their players. They get on them when they deserve it, and they're trying to make them better. Sometimes they will push and push, not physically, but push and push, and they will use some harsh language. They'll bark at the players, but it's kind of like not this big show that this guy puts on. But the thing of it is, don't let him define the profession, because the overwhelming majority of men's and coaches of men's college basketball, women's college basketball are good people trying to do it the right way.
I like it. That makes me feel better.
It's just like, it's almost like letting Bruce Pearl define the whole industry. It's like, no, Bruce Pearl's like one of the worst people like ever, like in terms of sports, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't define the profession. That's the way I look at it, man.
Well, one thing that's lost from our view, and I'll speak on this as somebody that coaches, I spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours with my players. Less than 1% of that time is yelling. Right? And it's the same. Now, it might be he yells at practice and all that, but we see a small amount on camera. What we don't see is, what are the relationships? Are they tight? Does that kid look at him as an uncle or a father figure or whatever? Or do they hate it? And if they hate it, they're probably not there. They probably leave. So, I mean, and every player is motivated differently. Some of them need the proverbial pat on the back. Others won't respond to that at all. Others are going to need a little bit of pressure, a little bit of yelling, a little bit of incentive. Every person's different. And some people can't. Yeah, some people can't handle being coached nice. Some people can't handle the yelling.
Well, that's right. Everyone's got a different way to reach them. I always responded more to encouragement than, like insults, because it just everybody's wired differently. But how old are the kids you coach?
14-year-olds are for the teams, but I mean, you name it, anywhere from 12, 13 up to college guys.
Well, I would say, with all due respect, that's a little different than the situation Dan Hurley's in. Yeah,
completely.
Right?
Yes.
Because they're younger, and and if you were calling them names and cursing at them, and maybe even pushing them or something, I mean, you'd be arrested.
Oh, I mean, and would be deservedly going to jail. Yeah,
that's the difference.
Yes.
So
that was a really good conversation. Yeah. Thanks for indulging me. Let's take a couple minutes, talk Cardinals. Bern, I heard you on Sports on the Sunday with Aki yesterday. Let me just say, I love that show.
Yeah,
and what I love about it, it's a great show, and I love Tommy, but I'm always surprised. I get up on a Sunday and I go out to run my errands, and it's on, and I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, this is so great. Anyway, Bern, you said something yesterday. I just want to echo. Forget about launch angle. Forget about this. Forget about that. I am having a ball watching the Cardinals.
As you should. And I think that there's, and I hope we get to the point soon, if they keep playing good ball, keep their record above 500 or whatever, that people don't have to feel like they need to apologize for saying they like watching them play.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the curses of social media, because Kevin Wheeler and I joke about this all the time, whether we're on Rush Hour or Gas House Gang or just whatever, even stuff I write. I feel like if I'm talking about how great Jordan Walker's doing, I feel like I have to write 25 paragraphs. It's early. I know it's early. It's 162 games. I know that he's been really bad. I know that you judge his performance based on like 2 weeks. I know this. I know that. I know this. I know that. It's like you feel like you got to set up all these caveats about everything, and I get and it's so annoying. So, yeah, I want to get to the point where I'm like, you know what, man, I like watching this team play. And, like, why wouldn't anybody who is a Cardinal fan, why would they not enjoy watching them play? It's a rebuilding year. They got the second youngest team in baseball. They got the second lowest payroll in baseball. Talking about active cash payroll, it's only $48 million. Only the Nationals are smaller. No one's expecting them to do anything, yet they're 5-4. People say, okay, let's have what are you going to have a parade for 5-4? No, I'm not. I'm just going to say I like it. A team that was not much has been expected. They're 5-4. 4 of their wins have been comeback victories. which shows me that they have a lot of heart. They're going to go to the end. They're not going to go down easy. They're going to fight you. And when I have some stats which I'm not going to read, but when the Cardinals are trailing in games this year, their stats offensively are unbelievably great. If there's something about when they get down, it brings out their best. And there is like a true underdog vibe to this whole thing that I find very, very appealing. The fact that all these guys, just about every single one of them, I'm not going to say they have their entire careers on the line, but this is a year that the kind of thing there's high stakes because it's going to set up what comes next for them. They don't have big guaranteed contracts where they have 4 or 5 years ago. No matter how they play, no matter how bad they are, they're still going to get their money. I just enjoy watching the team play. I really do.
Great discussion. Thanks for staying late. Burn, tell us about Saliga.
Absolutely. Talking about things I like, man, Saliga Heating and Cooling, this family's been taking care of St. Louis since 1927. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's true. 100 years. Dan Saliga is now the 4th generation owner-operator of this great family business. And to me, that's a big part of the appeal because I come from a business or a family that had a business, I should say, where all the grandkids, all the kids, all the nephews and nieces worked in the store helping the grandparents out. I know all about that, man. And I know what it's like when your last name is on the family business. When it's on the trucks, it's on the signs. You answer the phone, you're using your family name. On and on and on, man. It means more to you, and you want to live up to you want to make sure your family name is good, that it's got a great reputation, and you're not dishonoring it in any way. So, I can relate to Saliga Heating and Cooling because how great they are, how much they care, how they want to earn your trust. And the thing of it is, we trust them. The Mickleses have been calling them for 18 years or so, and man, they're a pleasure to deal with because they're so honest, and their integrity is beyond reproach. And they're just so easy to deal with, and they make it a really difficult process easy for you because they explain everything, they answer all your questions. This is really a high-quality family business, and I want you to find out more about it because everything's there for you at SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. They're the best. Thank you.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spamalot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
So, guys, about Neovitin, I talk about them all the time. You guys could probably do the live instead of me. It is the simplest thing in the world. You either are open to taking a vitamin supplement or you're not. Now, you may not be open because you're super into it, and you just don't think that a one-a-day vitamin can do anything for you. You take mega packs, and they're $500 a month. And trust me, I've been there, and I remember going to the doctor, and he said, "What the hell are you doing? Like, your blood tests are insane." And I told him, and he's like, "Don't do that. You're just going to either urinate all the extra vitamins out, or it's going to hurt your organs." And this is back in like 1984. So if you're doing that, just be careful because what we have is a multivitamin with 20 different ingredients, exactly what our doctors and scientists say that we need, including omega-3 fish oils. You take 2 a day. It costs less than $1 a day. A portion of every sale is going to go to cancer research. It was created in St. Louis. It's manufactured in the U.S. under the strictest guidelines. You can find it on the shelves at Schnucks and Deerbergs and online at neovitin.com.
Retirement. Exciting in one way, scary in others. How do you find the financial advisor that covers all the bases? Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
No one likes having to choose. That's why with America's best lineup of hybrids from Hyundai, you get the best of both worlds. Like the reliable and efficient Tucson Hybrid with America's best warranty. Or the stylish yet capable Santa Fe Hybrid with power to navigate the toughest terrain. It's like having your cake and eating it too. You know, if you could drive a cake. Hybrids from Hyundai. It's the best of both worlds. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger, to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back, DGS KMOX. Did you see the Steve Kroft thing from 60 Minutes?
No.
Do you know who that is? Do you have a picture of him in your head?
Yeah.
He's been on 60 Minutes for 30 years. And he just came out because he retired. And someone, just doing a typical interview, what are you going to miss the most? And he goes, nothing. I hated it. I hated it every day that I was there. I hated it all day. Every day that I was there for 3 decades.
Yikes. I guess he just doesn't like to work.
Man.
Because, he's a big enough of a deal that I feel that he could have easily went and worked somewhere else.
Seems like
if the problem was with 60 Minutes.
Yeah, certainly seems like it.
Probably like that paycheck, though.
Yep.
I mean, there are a lot of people that'll do that. They just don't like what they do, but it's good money, so.
I appreciate his honesty,
and in that
I
case, too,
suppose.
it's also a prestige thing, right? Like, if you're just an investigative journalist, how many outlets are there for you outside of 60 Minutes?
Have you guys heard of transvestigating?
Yep. No.
Yeah.
Want to tell them? You'll probably get it more right than
It's
me.
basically when you accuse someone of being trans and then comb through all of their pictures and social media and stuff looking for proof that this person is secretly trans.
Yeah, MAGA has evidently picked out Erica Kirk.
Oh, for God's sake.
And Sweeney.
Who?
To be clear, this is fringe activity. This is
these are
not
freaks.
like your average person is doing this. These are deeply disturbed people who are far too on the internet in a massive minority. This is not like
Right. I only know what it is because I'm online all the time.
Correct. Yeah. And it's important to know about these people. It's important to know that people do things like this.
Yeah, I mean, they may do it in small numbers, but it gets a lot of attention.
Well, there was a huge thing with Michelle Obama.
Right.
People were like,
well, that's what they do with the first lady in France, right? They've been saying that about Macron's wife.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think
So these are the Laura Loomer people
in
then.
some actual legal trouble for all the things she has said about Bridget Macron.
Here's a nice story to cleanse that palate. A 7-year-old in New Hampshire named Ben O'Reilly is the only deaf student in his entire school district, but his elementary school wanted him to feel included, so the entire elementary school learned sign language.
That's cool. Awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
And what a great skill for them to have for the rest of their lives, too.
Yeah, Phoebe is, I think, maybe getting a minor in that in college. She really
cool.
loves it. Yeah, loves it. Said it's very difficult, though. Guess who the number 2 most affordable place to buy a home is? St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
That's depressing.
Right.
I don't see too many affordable homes out there.
Yeah, seriously. That's like the worst. The only thing we got is like, well, maybe one day we can move away and go somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a draw for people that come from. It was a draw for us when we came here.
Buffalo, New York is the only place cheaper than St. Louis
because it's cold.
Yeah. Lombardo rate, speaking of homes.
Yeah. So Dave and I were telling you guys last week about this special that Lombardo was running during March. Well, they've extended it. Basically, Lombardo is doing some exclusive incentives right now. They just want to help you get more from your new home. So you can choose from either that free finished rec room that we were telling you about during March, or a premium kitchen and cabinet upgrade, maybe some flexible perks like design credits or closing cost savings. Moral of the story is there's an opportunity waiting for you at Lombardo. There's so many different offers to choose from, but they're only available in select communities and only for a short time. So you need to pounce on it. LombardoHomes.com to learn more.
The thing I think I want to say about Lombardo Homes today is no one is trying to scam you. You're safe. If my word means anything to you, I give you my word. Call me if you have different and a different experience with Lombardo. But I don't think anyone there is out to get you. You know, they're not seeing you pull in the driveway and go like, man, we're going to get this guy to pay, blah, blah, blah. They're very cooperative, very helpful, great people. Find out everything about them at lombardohomes.com.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at ledermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Game Day Men's Health. You can find him at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. And I mean, I cannot recommend enough that you do that. If you don't feel the way that you want to, there are answers to a lot of different problems. And Game Day is by far the best I've ever run into this. So when I went in 10 months ago, first time, go through an hour-long consultation that includes a blood test because they're going to look and find what works best for you to get you going where you want to go. So, you know, I'm in my 50s, right? So you recover more slowly from workouts. Your legs feel heavy. Like that's how it felt. It doesn't feel that way anymore. I feel like it did 10, 12 years ago because they found out, all right, I was low on testosterone. We get you up to your normal levels that you're supposed to be at, and you feel like you're supposed to feel. Well, maybe that's a good play for you. Maybe not. Maybe you're looking at medical weight loss. They've got a lot of great options there. They have their own pharmacy. They can get you great prices. And whether it's the TRT, whether it's the medical weight loss, it can be, they got ED treatments, all kinds of things. Everything is overseen by board certified physicians. Everything is done for you. There is no one size fits all. Everything is about being individualized because we're complicated creatures and we're not all the same. And they make sure to do that. And they really respect your time in the process of it. I can't recommend it enough. If you don't feel the way you want, go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and start down that path of getting back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 62 degrees downtown of the Arch. I'm Maria Kina in for Michael Calhoun from the White House briefing room. President Trump addressed the nation on the war in Iran.
The president doubled down on his warning he issued to Iran yesterday to open the Strait of Hormuz by 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, or
every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding.
He says he believes they want to make a deal.
They have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft weaponry, they have no radar.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
The Artemis II moon mission has broken Apollo 13's record, nearly 249,000 miles for the farthest distance that humans have traveled from Earth. The 4-member crew flying by the moon and snapping an expected 10,000 photographs of the moon, many areas which have never been seen by humans before. They have also proposed naming 2 relatively fresh craters that they have seen from their spacecraft, one bearing the name of Commander Reed Weissman's wife, who died in 2020. Mission specialist Jeremy Hansen.
At certain times of the moon's transit around Earth, we will be able to see this from Earth. And so we lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reed, the mother of Katie and Ellie.
The crew proposes naming another crater for the name that they have given their spacecraft, Integrity. A proposition to freeze property taxes on all homes could cost St. Charles school districts more than the county.
$5 million in tax revenue was eliminated when 30,000 seniors qualified for the property tax freeze in St. Charles County. Collector of Revenue Michelle McBride says enacting a similar freeze for all county homeowners would be significant.
We're looking at probably at least 70,000 more primary homeowners. So it would triple that impact, potentially resulting in $15 million worth of reduction in revenue to the political subdivision.
McBride says around 97% of the money generated by property taxes goes back to those subdivisions, usually the local fire districts and schools. From their perspective, McBride says if enacted, this property tax freeze would be the equivalent of working a job knowing you won't ever get a raise. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
From the KMOX Business Desk, gas prices from the St. Louis region rose almost 19 cents per gallon this past week. The average price now $3.99. The national average sits a little over $4 today, but Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy, says it could potentially hit $4.20 or $4.35 per gallon this week. At 3:03, it's time for an update from the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel Senior Vice President for Investments, Scott Bedell. Good afternoon, Scott.
Hello, Maria. Good afternoon to you and everyone else. A largely positive financial day to begin the new trading week with no major developments coming from the Middle East. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 164 points, or just about 0.33%, at 46,669. The Standard & Poor's 500 index advancing just a little less than 0.5% at 6,611, while NASDAQ was higher by a little bit more than 0.5% at 21,996. Closer to home, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index turned in the best performance today, rising 0.2% at 1,627. Helping that index to move higher, Anheuser-Busch gained 1.75% at $72.53. Caleres higher by 3.33% to $11.10. On the downside, Stifel Financial slid 1.25% to $73.15. Build-A-Bear Workshop lost 2% at $37.28. And finally, Bellring Brands down 5.33% to close at $15.73. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, please visit our website at stifel.com.
A check of traffic. Watch out southbound 270 at Gravois. 2 right lanes are blocked there by emergency vehicles. And that vehicle fire involving a truck eastbound 270 right before Lindbergh still has the right shoulder blocked. Weather is brought to us by KMOX. Here's Dave Murray with the forecast.
Pretty nice afternoon across St. Louis. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures about where we should be. Hope you had a great Easter. 62 for the high going through our afternoon. Tonight, clouds dominate. Some sprinkles, even a couple of wet snowflakes late tonight. It's no real big deal. 35, though, for the overnight low. Tuesday, more clouds than sunshine with the emphasis on the clouds. It's chilly, 54 degrees. Cloudy skies on Tuesday night, 41. Wednesday, partly sunny, and a jump up again. We're going to 73 Wednesday afternoon. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
64 in St. Peter, 62 in Florissant, 62 downtown of the Arch. I want to bring you up to date. That accident eastbound 270 by Lindbergh, apparently the 3 right lanes are now blocked. So use extra caution. There you have a pretty significant backup. I'm Maria Kina, KMOX News.
Your reputation matters. That's why so many landscape professionals choose Grave-Lee. You can save up to 20% on Grave-Lee commercial mowers during the Grave-Lee Mow the Distance sales event starting April 9th. Visit your local Grave-Lee dealer today. Brought to you by Grave-Lee Zero-Turn Mowers. The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday. Gorgeous day out there. The time just moves along, man. Easter's over with. Friend of the show, friend of mine, Rennie Knott is here, executive director of Lift for Life. Jim, good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
Always good to see you, man.
It's been a while.
It has
been a while, and you know we've got to get together more often. We've talked about it every time we've seen each other.
I know.
Oh, let's do. But for real,
that's the one thing I have in common with all my friends. We do that all the time.
Never see each other.
Yeah. So I had dinner. I just told you I went to spring training.
Yeah.
And the first night there, I went to dinner with Hancock and Kelly, Tom Ackerman, and Mike Claiborne. And we had a 4-hour dinner. We shut the place down. And it was just one of the greatest nights. And so when we got back, I texted all those guys and I said, we're not going to let this go. Let's do it again here.
Right.
So because it's so easy to let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think what happens is life gets in the way. And you keep thinking, tomorrow, next week, we'll find some time. We'll find some time. The next thing you're going to look at the clock. Oh, too late. Can't go now. Maybe tomorrow, 6 o'clock or something. It never happens. And I think when I look back at life, that is the one thing, and this is people find kind of odd. I do not have any friends, like a guy that I hang out with. I haven't had one since college. Because one, I've moved 4 different times, from different markets. But you're working constantly. You're always engaged in whatever you're trying to cover or whatever you're trying to do. So you just can't take the time to go, it's all about me. Well, one thing that I told over at Live for Life, I said, as much as I want to work and work all the time, there has to be the work-life balance. It has to take place now. 61 years old. It hasn't to this point in my life. I need to know what it's like to be totally off on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Or not Friday, so Saturday and Sunday, and not thinking about work and things like that. It's hard to get to that point because I used to always get off on Friday and immediately the countdown to when I got to be back into work at Monday would begin. And I'm still sort of in that mode now, but I'm starting to embrace more of, my wife and I going out and watching the basketball games at a bar or whatever, not just sitting at home, getting more out of the house and doing things. But I don't have a close friend. And now that I'm getting older in life, it feels bad. I wish I had a buddy, a guy that you would just hang out with and, bounce ideas off of, talk about what's going on in life.
Yeah.
It's pretty much internal.
I know the obvious thing here is for me to say, well, I'm your guy. Let's be best friends, but I'm going to do you one better.
Okay.
I'm going to give you Andrew. So,
all right. Thank you, Andrew. Welcome. We'll be buddies forever now. It is crazy when you think about men and buddies, because you either have one guy that's been your guy for life or a group of guys or none at all. Women seem to always have a clique or something that they hang with, somebody they can call and talk to. And guys aren't that way. We internalize so much of our lives that we don't let it out. We don't sit down and here with Kevin and kind of guy talk for a while. And, hey man, I'm having a tough time balancing the budget or whatever at home. We don't do that. We just keep it inside of ourselves.
So true. So true. Yeah.
Maybe that leads to, bad health and all those things too, but I don't know.
So we're the same age. I'm 61 and I'm lucky because I like what I do. And I think I can be relevant for another 10 years. We'll see. But my brother-in-law, Mike, is retiring in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
He's 66 or so, 68 maybe. And so it's time. But when he said it, I got like a cold chill because I realized I'm kind of afraid of retiring. I'm afraid of
I feel you.
Who am I going to be if I'm not this guy?
Yeah. Well, it's odd because by changing my job, I kind of feel weird that you're not that guy anymore. You're not, oh, hey, aren't you on TV? And after a while, people aren't going to be saying that anymore. You're just that guy that's in the store, that guy that's driving down the street. That feels weird to think about that. When I think about retirement, and trust me, I've considered 62 coming up. Could you do it? Do you still need to keep going? Is Social Security going to change for you? If anything, it won't be there if you don't take it now. So I think trying to find things to do is going to be hard because you wake up every day with a purpose. Coming in to do the radio show. I wake up, I'm going to go, work with the kids at the gym, and I'm going to do some fundraising and all that stuff. But imagine if you wake up and, gosh, I have nowhere to go today.
The day's yours.
No one's counting on me or nothing like that. Am I going to take advantage of it and go out and do something, or will I just sit at home? I think I would probably be a guy that ends up sitting at home more than getting out and being adventurous.
And I think my intuition is that that's so bad for you. Mm-hmm. My dad was a working man. He built scaffolds. He was a union carpenter. He worked his whole life, and he retired at 62. And when he sat down, he was instantly old. And within 5 or 6 years, he had Alzheimer's. And within 5 years after that, he was gone. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying if my dad would have kept climbing scaffolds, he'd have been okay. But I watched it happen with my dad, and everyone's different. Wheels, how do you feel about all that?
I will find stuff. That's just that's just how I am. Like my dad's like that. My dad's retired, but he doesn't sit around. He drives limo buses and things like that in his spare time. And, they're down in Florida. He's driving, guys like Tim Tebow around when they're down there for various of it. Not just him. I mean, like they do weddings. He doesn't like to sit around, so he doesn't. He golfs. And I feel like I'm the same way. I just always will find. If I want to find something, I find something.
Yeah.
Whether it's coaching, because I still do that on the side, right? I mean, I don't see why I would ever stop doing that.
Isn't it weird being at this age, though? We all knew we'd get here, but being here is weird.
I'm not so sure we knew we'd get here. And I'll be honest about that because I could think back in life. I never once thought, one day I'm going to be 60. I used to think one day I'll be 21, be 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, maybe. But I never thought about 60, 65, 70. And to be honest with you, I don't think about 70 right now. I think hopefully 65. I mean, who knows what's going on internally, with the body and all those things and how life is in general. But I've never thought about what it's going to be like to be 60. And now that I'm 61, and wow, man, you've lived a lot and you've done a lot of things, but what's next?
Yeah.
What are you going to do next? Because the chapter is unwritten. You want it to be something that is unforgettable, something that is going to be epic, right? I don't know what that chapter is going to be right now. I mean, I'm trying to do what I'm doing with Live for Life Gym, trying to bring them up and get them to where I truly believe they can be and have a grand vision. But then after that, are you going to buy a tiny home and live in South Florida? Are you going to, be able to travel the country? Will you travel the world? Or I'm just going to sit in my house in Chesterfield and feed the dogs and walk the dogs from time to time. I did start working out, though. I will say that.
That's good.
I do lift weights again.
Nice.
So.
You keeping up with the kids?
No. My son is 35. My daughter is 30. She was just in town 2 weeks ago, and her and her husband, because they're going down to spring break. And I turned to my wife and I go, remember when we used to do that? Go to spring break, go and have fun. She goes, yeah. I said, why don't we do that now? She goes, with that body you have?
Oh, man.
I go, okay, I'll get back in the gym and start working out so we can take some time off.
That's funny. And then you see people like I play 16 over baseball, and we have a really good team. We're always contending for the championship, such as it is. And one of our best pitchers is 73.
What?
And he throws 70. I mean, he's still doing the job.
Wow.
And so you look at that and you're like, what kind of wuss am I? Like, that's 14 years or whatever, like he's doing it.
But that's the thing is he never stopped.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing is, everybody that I see in my family, like my dad's this way. I've got a couple uncles. They don't stop. You just keep going. And it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, right? Men's league baseball is not the same as playing college baseball or whatever. But when you don't stop, you hold things. Yeah.
Right. You don't forget how to do it. It's interesting you talk about your dad when he retired. So my dad worked for UPS for nearly 40 years.
That's where my dad retired from.
Really?
Yeah.
For nearly 40 years. He retires, right? And they got a big house they moved into in Las Vegas, and it was great. He started going down and wash the cars at the car dealership. because he wanted something,
something to do. Yeah.
Then he
Yeah.
started, a little golf here and there. But for the most part, he was a guy that woke up every day and went out to go get it done.
Yeah.
And so for him, that's what he did was go watch cars.
Yeah.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah, imagine like my dad was at war for 4 years. He was 17.
Yeah.
And then came back and had to support a family for 40 years. And then one day it's like, okay, have a seat.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Yeah. You can't, from what I've seen, like you're talking about the mind, if you're not engaging the mind on almost a daily basis, if you're not engaging the body on almost a daily basis, if you don't use it, you lose it. And I have to tell myself at least once, twice a day, you need to speak aloud because I don't want to lose my broadcast ability.
Yeah.
You
I get
forget
it.
that
Just
you
talk
have
to yourself
to
in the
project your
car.
voice. I do.
That's what I do.
I do. And people are driving by me going, what the hell?
No, they're not. They think you're on Bluetooth. They think you're just on a phone call.
I
You know who's the perfect embodiment of what you're talking about? And
Who's
we all saw it firsthand was Red Schoendienst.
Oh, yeah.
Red was the sharpest person at 90 years old. He is because he never stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Always at the ballpark, always in spring training, always. He knew guys on other teams that you would never have heard of because he's like, hey, I saw that guy in spring training 5 years ago. I always liked that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You can say another segment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you have a fundraiser coming up. We're going to talk about that. But to the point you just made, I had a story today in my show prep. So I have the genetic markers for Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And my dad had it and his brother had it, and it's all over my family. So chances are good I will have it. It can be avoided. It's not 100%. Lifestyle changes and such, maybe a new drug, but it's probably my future. And so I read everything there is. And today I knew that keeping your mind active was important, but they did an actual study. And for every year of education you have above high school, it staves it off like 3 years. And they've also found that the more complicated your job is over your career, it staves it off by years. So I consider my job a godsend because it's nothing but mental. Right?
Exactly.
All thinking.
It's not doing much for my pecs, but I mean, it's like it's keeping the old electric meat going up there. So, and another thing, my doc is well aware of my Alzheimer's future, and we talk a lot about it. And I told him things I was concerned about just last week, and he said, "I'm not so much concerned with those things." I said, "What are you concerned with?" He said, "If the guys on your show or your family start saying, 'Hey, Dad, do you realize you told me that story twice today?' Or if the guys on the show are like, 'No, Glove, we did that story yesterday.'" He said, "That's when I get concerned." So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
But see, when you say that, then it makes me think, did I do that yesterday? Do I do that from time to time? Because my mind engages differently now that I'm not on television than when I was.
Oh, interesting.
What interests me now isn't the same. I was way more of an in-depth person on TV. Now I'm more of a scroller.
Yeah.
You could say that if you're, when I use social media type of relationship there, because I would sit and I would read it, then I would go back and I would do a little research on it, do a little bit more research on it. Now I just kind of go, that's interesting, and keep going.
Yeah. That's our pal, Rennie Knott. He is the executive director of Live for Life Gym. They're having a fundraiser coming up. I've hosted this fundraiser. It's a lot of fun, a lot of great auction items, and the DGS is donating one. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call me, Lance Drury, today, and let me get between you and the IRS. I'll protect your rights. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, our practice is focused 100% on fighting the IRS. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis. Call 314-260-6120. Visit Lance, DRURY law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It is not hard to destroy a college.
Last season, the podcast Campus Files brought you stories of fraternity drug rings, stolen body parts, campus cults, and more.
And now Campus Files is back for another season.
There's a guy screaming into his phone. He's like, I just saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated right in front of me.
Every week is a new episode and a new story.
It was so chaotic.
It's almost like a university under siege. Listen to and follow Campus Files, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Guys, do yourselves a favor. Get into Supplement Superstores. If you're looking for help, right, because this is what this is about. Getting the push that can get you over the top. That's what you get with Burn Balance Complex. So it's Burn Balance Edge for the guys, Burn Balance Zen for the ladies. What it is, in a broad description, is it's a complete metabolism system, right? This isn't just a fat burner. It's not something you say, like, oh, it's going to burn. It doesn't work that way. What it does is optimize metabolism. So what I notice is, well, first of all, you notice like right away, you don't have the cravings that you usually have. You've got focused energy all day. But what you notice over a little bit of time is shirts fitting a little bit better, belt pulling a little bit tighter. You kind of pull a little tighter so your pants don't fall. And what you notice is the results, they're gradual, right? Nothing's magic. You've got to work out. You've got to make good choices. But what the Burn Balance Complex does for me is it makes those things easier. It's not easy. It's not magic. You don't take pills and get what you want. You've got to do all of the right things. But hard things sometimes require some help. To me, Burn Balance Complex being the latest thing out there is at the top of the food chain. So if you want to take the step, it's easy. Go to Supplement Superstores. Say Kevin Wheeler was talking about this on KMOX. Just for mentioning my name, they'll knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hardworking, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Step into a world of mystery and beauty with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in From Mozart to Wagner, Mysticism and Wonder. Conductor Hannu Lintu leads a luminous weekend from Wagner's shimmering Lohengrin Prelude to the grandeur of Respighi's Church Windows. Pianist Jan Lisiecki makes his SLSO debut to perform one of Mozart's spellbinding piano concertos April 18th and 19th at Powell Hall. Tickets at slso.org.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
100 years, one legendary voice. Relive KMOX's century of service. Classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Welcome back, DGS 325. Skip Weber's going to be here at the top of the hour for Sweet 16. Brittany Knott's with us, Executive Director of Live for Life Gym. You guys are having a fundraiser. Tell us all about it.
So we're doing a 24-hour, 24-hour online fundraiser Wednesday. So it begins at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it'll go all the way through 3 o'clock on Thursday, the 9th. Then after that, we're going to have a little after-hour, happy hour over at Four Hands as well. It's all online, but we also have 5 teams on our page, and you could donate to those teams if you like, if you know those people. If not, it's our general funding. So what we've done is prior to the everything going live, we raised enough money so that when you give on Wednesday or Thursday, every dollar is matched 4 times. So you may think, oh, I'm giving $100. No, actually, you're giving $400.
Wow.
And it'll show on our page that that's what you gave and all. And really, it's about building things together so that we can ensure ourselves of having a great summer program for our kids. And you think, well, how much can that cost? Well, you got to remember, we feed our kids every day for free. We drive them to and from their house for free. We're providing on-site education as well as mentoring and well as our lifting and fitness and everything else. So it takes a village and it takes a lot of money in order to keep it going. And in the nonprofit world, that's how it works. You basically go, okay, we need $50,000 to do these things. Now you got to go out and find $50,000. You just can't start selling stuff and it comes out that way. So we're taking really anything at this point when it comes to our donations, because our belief is no matter how much you give, every little bit counts. If it's $10, that's $10 more than what we had yesterday.
That's a meal.
Now multiply that by all the people that you could possibly get to come in there. Next thing you know, you've made an impact.
So we are donating one of our Cardinals experiences. Here's what you can get. You can't buy this anywhere. It's only at an auction. So for this one, I'm going to sweeten the pot.
Okay.
I'm going to make one of these guys go with me. Okay.
Oh.
So you're not only getting a game with Dave, it could be Rach, it could be Wheels, it could be Andrew.
Okay.
And so you go to the game early and you go down on the field for batting practice, bring a ball along to get signed by players. Then you have 4 seats. So we split it between 4 of you, 4 seats. Prime seats, typically behind home plate.
Nice.
And then I'll take you upstairs to the KMOX booth for 2 innings where you watch right behind Ricky and John.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
I might bet on this.
It's pretty cool.
Back in the old days, this was part of the job to go do those things. But now, I appreciate this because I think one thing about St. Louis is a very giving place. It's a place where people understand that as a community, it has to come together. But sometimes there's so many options out there, so many different special interests that it takes something that can sweeten the pot a little bit more to get someone to lean our way. And I think something like that is a great opportunity. And hey, they just won the other day, so they're looking good right now. So why not go ahead and jump on the bandwagon? I just look at our kids every day, and when I started, we were probably getting about 15 to 20 kids a day. That's back in January. Well, now we're averaging between 40 to 50 kids a day. It's a lot of kids in a small space.
Yeah.
We're doing the weightlifting. We're doing the basketball. We're doing the foursquare. We're playing kickball. But we're feeding them every day.
Yeah.
We're also mentoring them every
you're
day.
caring.
So we're doing things because we want them to be able to walk out of there better than what they were when they came in. More prepared for life. More prepared to say, hey, I have choices. I don't have to live under these circumstances all my life. I can achieve if I want to achieve. I now have the tools to do so.
Well, I will remind all you guys out there listening, the day of the online auction, I'd love to see a DGS person maybe from the stream to get it, and we'll remind you about that. And you're a good man. Continue the good work.
Can I throw the website out real quick in case somebody, because it is live right now.
Okay, perfect.
So if you want to go make a donation, you can. It is charity, CHARIDY.com/Lift for Life Gym. Lift for Life Gym. So you just go in there, there's a donor, put down whatever you want to do, and it all adds up.
Great. We'll put a link up.
Thank you.
KMOX is Cardinals country. Tom Ackerman starts your day setting the record straight on the Redbirds. At noon, the Gas House Gang, Ackerman, Chris Ronchi, and Bernie Nicholas brings real talk on what's working and what's not. Then at 5, Nicholas, Kevin Wheeler, and Matt Pauley offer deeper insight and analysis you won't hear anywhere else. Voices that know the game. No spin, no nonsense, just Cardinals baseball. KMOX is Cardinals Radio.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Game day comfort steps up to the plate Saturday, April 11th, when the Cardinals face the Boston Red Sox downtown. That night, fans can score a Cardinals dugout hoodie presented by Mercy, built for cool nights, late innings, and early season baseball. It's a classic, easy-to-wear layer you'll reach for all year long. Available in medium or extra large while supplies last. Don't miss this spring matchup. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Every Sunday home game is a Kids Sunday at Busch Stadium. From Team Fred Birding games to a kid-friendly DJ, ice cream, and family-favorite activities, Sundays are built for young fans. Plus, select Sundays feature kids run the bases after the game. It's a day made for smiles, memories, and Cardinals baseball together. Make Sundays your family tradition at Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/Kids Sunday.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. YourEyeDoc.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, we got issues going south on 270 this afternoon. First of all, South 270 backs up approaching Olive midway down through Ladue to 64. It looks like the left lane's blocked by a crash there. And then you get down to Manchester and you back up again down through 44. There's a crash in the right lane southbound 270 just before you get to Gravois. So a couple of really tough runs there on South 270. By comparison, South 170 is just a little slow at Olive, and then U-Club Tower down to 64. That's not bad. Westbound 64 Kings Highway out through Clayton Skinker's busy, and 364 out to Highway 70 is heavy. Westbound 70 looks great. Just some slow stuff from A to Z out in the Wentzville area. Eastbound 270, McDonald through Lindbergh. It looks like we have an incident there. You're backed up. North 170, Scudder up to Hanley's a little busy. Southbound 55, Gasconade Bates is kind of slow and barely a slow down at Z. Eastbound 64, backed up across the Poplar. 70 backed up east of the Mutual Veterans to 64, and eastbound 64 slow east of 157. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, this is not the time for, gee, I hope this works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified, April 7th at the All Financial Group offices. You'll learn how to deal with rising costs, taxes, crazy markets, and the fear of running out of money. The date again is April the 7th. It's complimentary, but you must reserve a seat. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
Tonight, the Cards, the Nationals.
Cameron Total Access 450. First pitch 545.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Rachel's playing some Dave music today. I love it. Yeah.
Man, I love The Who.
Do you?
I do. I can't remember when I first started listening to them. Like when I was like a 13 or 14.
Yeah.
But I remember going CD shopping with my dad and just wanting to get a greatest hits
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
And he was so thrilled.
That's
he was
cute.
like, this is awesome.
That's cute. I listened to this album with Can't Explain and The Kids Are All Right, which is very poppy and Beatles-ish, and I loved them. And then I listened to like Who's Next or whatever it is, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, they're so like the Beatles in that there's such a range, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all really good. Or
Yeah.
most of it's really good.
Yep. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
How was Easter?
Easter was good. Yeah.
Do you have the fam in?
Nope.
Okay.
They had already left.
Gotcha.
We're in that strange time that began this year, is that real school has started.
Yeah.
So now you run for the next 12 years of school schedule.
Yeah. That's correct.
Instead of coming out for 2 or 3 weeks, it's we got 5 days.
What does your grandson say about school? Like
He likes it. He
That's
likes
good.
it very much.
That's very good.
We were a little concerned because he was changing schools, going from, tiny little kid school to real school.
Mhm.
And he really liked his tiny school. But now, no, he adjusted almost immediately. He's a kid that if you keep him busy, he's fine.
But don't let him get bored.
I remember.
No, do not let him get bored.
I remember in about
I can identify.
in about second grade, we got a new kid, and I just never even considered that I could move and go to a new school. And of course, being me, I got super, super anxious. And my mom's like, we're not going anywhere. But I mean, just the concept of it was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I moved schools in kindergarten.
Ooh.
After Christmas, we went. I went to Grafton Elementary for the first semester, if it's even a semester, in kindergarten, and then we moved to my Christian school in Alton after Christmas, and it was just so different.
Yeah, I bet.
I remember it so. There's certain things like they're always going to stick with me.
Yeah.
But it was scary. It was intimidating.
I switched schools between 3rd and 4th grade.
Mm.
It wasn't.
Yeah, we moved.
That's cool.
We moved all the time.
Oh, really?
And when I was like from kindergarten through 6th grade, I think I hit 5 different schools.
Jeez, man.
I was pretty messed up at an early age because of that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that it was. I didn't realize it at the time, but I think I look back on that and go, and that's probably was not a good thing to do. But
Yeah.
Dad was moving up in the organization, and that's what you did.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? Because if Phoebe's 21 now, and she'll be on her own soon. But when she was 10, I would have gotten an offer to go somewhere. I would have completely taken into account her wishes and such. Would have never happened with us when we were kids.
No.
It's like, all right, pack your bags. We're going.
That's
Not
right.
relevant information.
Yeah.
Get on the
You
bus.
don't have a vote here, kid.
Yeah, man, we were lucky to make it in the car to go to Dairy Queen. So. And that's so interesting, Dave. You've been through this, and Wheels, you've been through it. But Phoebe, who turned 21 last month, she was in for Easter, and we had such a great time together in a way we never had before, because she now knows she's an adult, and she's really proud of her. She's really like leaning into it, and it was just so nice, like to have an afternoon with my grown-up daughter.
It's all the stuff that happens when you're bringing a kid up, male or female. It all just kind of washes under the bridge once they get into their 20s. And then they start to realize, you know what? I wasn't that easy of a kid to live with. And I get it now.
Yeah.
I get the responsibilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. So weird.
Yep.
Just so weird. You never
I'm
think.
just waiting for it to spin back around. When I'm like 95 years old, and
Yeah.
here I am. Time to take care of me.
Yeah.
Payback.
We were just having a similar conversation with Randy Knott, and I almost said this, but I'll say it now. I think maybe I showed it to Rach. But last week on my show sheet, I wrote, and I was in the zone at the time, but I wrote, "You are 20 years at best from oblivion."
No, you got more time.
And the next morning I looked at it, I'm like, who wrote that?
Oblivion.
Let's put it this way, Dave. When your mom was your age, she had 35 more years.
Yeah, I just don't know which way it's going to go for me.
None of
and
us
you
do.
don't. You
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous day today, Dave. Where do we go?
Yeah. We have a little cold front coming by. It's a cool front, really. After midnight tonight, there'll be some clouds. Again, we're going to keep the chance of a couple of sprinkles, maybe a wet snowflake. Not much of anything. It's a pretty dry front, but 35 for the overnight low, so it's kind of chilly. Tuesday is the coolest day of the week, 54, kind of a changeable sky, a mix of clouds and sunshine, but nothing much going on. All's quiet Tuesday night, though chilly, 41. Wednesday, sunny, breezy, but the breeze is now from the south on Wednesday, so we're going to pop to 73 after a cool morning. Thursday, sunny and 77. Then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we get into a springtime unsettled weather pattern with scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms around. No all-day rain, but a little more unsettled towards the end of the weekend this upcoming weekend.
Okay. Headlines, Rach?
Yeah, let's start local here in headlines today. You remember that fake Amber Alert? I believe it was happening about a week ago. Police are estimating that fake Amber Alert cost law enforcement $16,000.
Well, somebody's getting a bill.
How is that calculated?
That's a good question.
Probably
Andrew.
man hours, gas, fuel for the helicopters.
Helicopters.
Yeah, they had aircraft.
Whoa.
So St. Louis County Police said there's no way to truly quantify the response, but that was their best guess at the absolute minimum for the cost of the specialized resources, the air support, like they were saying. So these two women that fabricated the missing child are charged with misusing 911 and making a false report. The misdemeanors each carry a maximum fine of $1,000 and or up to 6 months in jail.
I think you should have to pay that whole thing back.
I agree. I think that should be part of the law, that if you abuse law enforcement, well, like say, for example, you SWAT someone, you should have to pay every penny of what it costs to do that.
I think these ladies should go to jail. I think they should do 30 days, 60 days.
I think they probably, since the 6 months in jail is on the table, considering how angry people are at this situation, I think that's a possibility. But yeah, St. Louis County Police deployed its own on-duty officers, as well as 29 officers from various units, including crime scene detectives, crimes against persons, K9, commercial vehicle, and special response officers. I mean, we're trying to find a missing little girl.
You talk
and
about,
then it turns out she didn't exist.
You talk about a stupid human being. They thought that they could file a false report about a missing child. And once they found the car, everyone would be like, oh, you got us. Okay. You really got us. Good. We'll see you later. I mean,
well, I just wonder.
No critical thinking.
Because we were talking with Maria about this last week, and I was saying, like, were the police with them while this was happening? Because I would just assume if I'm a guardian and I'm reporting my 4-year-old has been taken, I would assume someone from law enforcement is, if not
constant
sitting
contact.
like, or a social worker or something is with them the whole time. I would be so curious to see, like, maybe as it dawned on them, like, oh, they've got helicopters involved. They're bringing out the K9. Like, we might be in over our heads here.
Things like this are good for people like me, because I've done so many stupid things. For real.
But nothing that
stupid.
But nothing that stupid. Yeah, it's like...
Dave Hines brings up the point that that this is just a drop in the bucket. Like, considering this was only a couple hours. So then you expand that to, like, now I know this is an actual missing person, but like Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah.
How
Millions.
much? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
It was really interesting. Did you see Savannah did a video? She was on today. I watched it for a little bit. But she did a video. She's very, very religious. Her whole family is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, very religious. And she said very vulnerably and open and honestly, I still believe, but it really made me question. And she said, I was always taught that Jesus knew all of our pains, but I realized he doesn't know this one. Jesus didn't live through having his mother kidnapped and probably killed. And I thought, especially for Savannah Guthrie, that's pretty like salient. It's pretty ballsy for her to say that. So,
yeah, I mean, it is an interesting. I might disagree with that. If you believe in Jesus, you believe he's the Son of God and God understands everything. Like the thought that God, if you believe in God, but you don't believe God can understand what you're going through,
fairly limited God.
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
That being said, she's in a tremendous amount of pain, and I'm not
Yes.
going to take anything she says as
Right.
like, that's the final word on what Savannah means about that.
Right.
Like, she's grieving. This is a terrible time.
Good point.
Pope Leo is the first pope in decades to carry a wooden cross for all 14 stations of the Way of the Cross at the Colosseum on his first Good Friday as the Pope.
I like Leo.
I do too. I like
That's
that he's
what
from
I-
America.
Because not only is
He's the baseball pope.
He's
Yes.
cool. He seems chill. He seems like a pope you would want to like hang out with.
Well, Francis, God love him, was all about poverty. And he didn't live in the papal apartment. He didn't go to the papal.
Didn't wear the fancy shoes.
Yep. Like,
Which I love.
and Leo wants all that smoke. Like he's living
having a
in
good
Yeah, he's
time.
having a good time. He's poping it up.
Oh, I wish they wouldn't do that.
Open it up. That's the line of the week right there.
I really
Open it
wish
up.
they wouldn't do that. That's a bizarre twist to me.
What's that?
But now you're committing to a life of poverty unless you get to be the Pope, and then you can be a richest person on earth. Like, that's a little weird.
Winning the Catholic lottery.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
All righty.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, South 270 is still trouble if you're headed that way this afternoon. This traffic report is the service of the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We've had crashes southbound 270 at Ladue. That one's blocking the left lane, so the jam goes back through just a little north of Olive. And then the other one is southbound 270 just before Gravois in the right lanes. That jam goes back north of Manchester, so you have two different backups. And there's a northbound jam, by the way, from 64 up to Ladue. Looking at that crash on the southbound side, want to talk about our USPS Ground Advantage reliable route? Well, I'll tell you what, 141 is a lot better than 270. It is heavy, though, approaching Ladue down to about Conway. It is backed up. Lindbergh looks better than that, just a little heavy at Ladue. South 170 is an alternate. You'll find it slow from Olive all the way down to 64. So Lindbergh's the best, maybe 141 the second best because of the speed limit to get you through. But there are pockets on 141 running south of Big Bend into Valley Park. Is pretty solid right around there as well. Other delays, westbound 64 Kings Highway headed out to almost Hanley slow. Stop and go bumper to bumper from 364 all the way out to 70. Got a car fire southbound 55 south of 4500 Broadway. Right lanes are shut down. Traffic's a solid jam at Arsenal. Eastbound 64 backed up. Jefferson across the Poplar. We have an incident near the Barack Obama exit there just past Tudor causing a problem. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Calling all runners. Register now for the Cardinals 5K on Saturday, April 18th, and you can take a victory lap on the field at Busch Stadium. Don't miss this chance to bring the whole family for a fun St. Louis 5K race that brings fans together to support kids in the community. The Cardinals 5K, Saturday, April 18th. Register now at cardinals.com/5K. And for more information, just head to KMOX.com/events.
The spring cleaning rush at Zero Res. This week's flash sale, $50 per room of carpet clean for unlimited rooms and whole system air duct cleaning for just $599. Visit ZeroResSTL.com to book your appointment. That's ZeroResSTL.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a difference between liking a house and actually getting it. Redfin is built to make up that difference and close the gap between finding and owning the home for you. Redfin agents close twice as many deals as other agents, so when you find a home you love, you're not a step behind when it's time to make an offer. That means less watching great homes disappear and more focus on the ones you'll actually move into and call home. Redfin helps turn saved listings into real addresses. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Laterman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, circumstances and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Laterman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Laterman Law Firm at latermanlaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
We just heard from Dave Murray and his weather forecast. That's sponsored by i3 Broadband. Spring is here. Time to toss out that dusty treadmill and your laggy cable internet. Upgrade to 100% in-home fiber from i3 Broadband. Plus, we're springing forward with our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. No data caps, just pure speed. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Do you ever feel like people are mumbling more than they used to? Or maybe conversations at restaurants and family gatherings have gotten harder to follow? If this sounds familiar, it might be time to learn more about your hearing. That's why we're inviting you to a special lunch and learn at the Audiology Center. This event is on April 29th for various time slots. It's a relaxed and friendly gathering where our certified audiologists will talk about hearing and hearing loss, answer your questions, and share how today's hearing aids can help you connect with the moments that matter most. Hearing loss often happens slowly, and many people don't realize how much they're missing. It's important to know how untreated hearing loss can negatively affect you in the long term. It's a no-pressure event, just good conversation and good information, and lunch is on us. Seats are limited, so please call 636-441-7470 to reserve your spot for our free lunch and learn at the Audiology Center on April 29th. Take the first step towards hearing more clearly.
$54.50. $352 DGS. Skip's going to be here in a minute. We're going to do the Sweet 16 of the best cartoon shows. We've done characters, but I don't think we've ever done shows. So that should be fun. The Cardinals Report is sponsored by Rawlings. Visit the Rawlings Experience at Westport. First of all, Wheels, have you been to the Rawlings Experience?
I have not.
Would you like to go with me?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
When do we go?
Anytime.
That's the place with the big giant gold
Yeah.
glove.
Let's blow out of here right now.
I love looking at that glove. It looked good.
Why did you say it
Why
like
are you
that?
talking like Shaft?
I just like looking at it. I like when you drive down
Yeah,
and you're
look
like,
good.
every time I point it out, I'm like, look at the glove.
It does look nice. You can see it from the highway.
Yes, you can. Why did that get weird?
Well, I forgot it's time for you to talk about sports.
Oh!
I'm looking at Rach and she's looking at me. I'm like, hey, it's your segment. It's like,
It's Rachel,
Rach,
baseball
take it
segment.
over.
Hello.
Take it over, Rach.
I think the best thing about baseball is when they hit that ball, man. When it goes out into the stands and I know it's a home run, I'm like, yes. They should do that every single time.
Why don't they do that every time?
see, they're going to take the sponsor from us and give it to her.
All right. Well, the big story for the Cards today is still Mason Wynn. So you guys remember he played Friday, came out of the game early with some tightness in his hip. After that game, mentioned that the hip tightness kind of came around on Tuesday, but then he also had the car accident on 40 on Wednesday. They had the off day Thursday. He played on Friday. It didn't go well. He came out of the game. He did not play Saturday or Sunday. And when the lineup came out today, he's not in the lineup today either, although Ollie Marmol did say a little bit ago that he's going to test it in D.C. He's going to be out running, and if it goes well, he might still get put into the starting lineup for tonight.
What's wrong?
So hip tightness.
Okay.
And, you know, it's a little bit of it's not a big deal, but a bunch of us have been like, you know, Matt and Tom and I, we've all been kind of like, so why did he play Friday if it was such an uncertainty? Maybe it felt fine until he got into game action, and then you get into game action and, you know, you're going a little bit faster than you would in a pregame workout or whatever. And that's when they noticed it. But it was a little odd when you consider the sequence, right? It's bothering him Tuesday, car accident Wednesday.
Yeah, very weird.
Maybe take Friday off, but, you know, it might have been the same outcome anyway. We have no idea. But at least he is resting now. But they're going to test it, I guess, sometime here pretty soon because the game's coming up in a little bit. So.
Yeah. Tomorrow on the show, we have a couple more clients from Charles D'Angelo. Ben and Lisa were with us about a month ago. And I don't know about you. Like, I could have talked to them for an hour. I thought it was fascinating. People facing a challenge, a physical challenge. You know, I've been there, kind of am there now a little bit, trying to lose a little weight before my show. Ben lost 300 pounds with Charles. Lisa lost 175 pounds with Charles. What they both had in common is when they were starting, they didn't think that Charles was going to be able to get them to the finish line. They both were very candid about that, both very smart, professional people. And it just worked. I watched a video with a medical doctor who worked with Charles and lost a bunch of weight. And he said, look, man, I'm telling you, as a doctor, Charles tells you everything to do to the smallest detail. And if you do it, 2 + 2 = 4. Your body's a machine. You're going to lose weight. Once you start losing weight, hey, I lost 5 pounds. Hey, I lost 50 pounds. It just keeps motivating you, and you keep doing the program until you are at your goal weight. Have a conversation with Charles. Go to charlesdangelo.com.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
Meta Platforms is rolling out a batch of updates for its smart glasses, including a